everything we say.
Excellent. Excellent.
So no one's here. Light's already here. That's amazing.
Light is already here.
All
Holy
right.
crap.
I was just saying no one's here because, well, normally no one's here. Okay, you remember how I told you I always forget to do something? Forgot to change the title in the game category.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. What's a good title? I got
The
this.
Saturday night beer session.
Ooh, I got one. I'm incorporating mine and yours.
Bro. What's going on? Light? Good to see you, dude. We're probably a little early.
Hey, Light, is all the sound coming through well enough? It should be. I hope so. All right. I changed the topic, and I went with geeked out drinking with Joviah, because I knew as soon as I saw you that you were a huge dork.
Oh yeah. I mean, you probably could tell by the t-shirt rotation, right?
Yeah, well, honestly, I think it was I think it was like the overall outer appearance, not just the shirt. Like if you were naked, I would know that you were a dork because I would look at you and go, okay, that man is a dork. He's a naked dork, and I should probably leave because I don't want to find out what comes next. But
Well, I mean, actually, the question would be, how many naked dorks have you seen to compare me to? That would be the question that I would ask back,
6.
because six. That's more naked dorks than I've ever seen. But hey, yeah, I don't even know how to respond to that already. I don't even.
Just
He has
6.
a number already. Just ready to
Nice,
go out of the
nice,
pocket.
nice round number, single digit. Good,
Yeah,
good, good choice. Like
right,
that's how many I chose to see. I
right.
didn't accidentally see any.
You didn't accidentally see any. It was all locker room stuff, right? It wasn't like it
It's on purpose.
was on purpose. Okay,
Yeah.
girl dorks or boy dorks, whatever your flavor of the day is, man. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Hooray! All of the fanboys and girls are pouring in.
Yeah, coming in. I know we're starting to show naked dorks, which I think we've dived in a little deep, man. We're on the deep end of the pool already.
I'm just hoping you don't sound like a robot too much to them. If I can understand you, they can understand you because I've talked about my deafness before. I'm very open about that. And what a lot of people don't know about any level of deafness is it doesn't just affect the volume of sound, it affects the quality of it as well.
Right.
Plus, I don't know
I have
about
heard
you.
that.
I don't know about you, but when I get a couple drinks in me, my hearing goes anyway.
Well, once you get a couple drinks in you, who cares what anybody says?
Well, yeah, it's not like anybody is making sense anyway.
Right. Right.
Hey, Joviah, thank you for the host. Oh, wait, you're right here. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm pretty
That worked out well. Um, all right, so I think we've got enough people here that I want to pull out at least one or two of those random questions, and we'll get to more later.
right on.
So I think for those of you joining, I explained it to Jovia before we started. I like to do something different every time I do one of these, and today I wanted to ask questions that aren't so like common. And but what I ended up doing was I looked for typical uh, talk show questions because I wanted a couple common ones too, but I was mostly looking for uncommon ones. And what I came across was I came across a list of ones that are completely just absurd. No, and they're supposed to be for job interviews. No potential employer is going to ask any of these. And we are going to start with the one that I initially read you. Um, to refresh your memory in case you forgot the absurdity of this, a penguin walks through your door right now wearing a sombrero. What does he say and why is he there?
I'm not sure why he's there, and it doesn't really matter because basically he looks at me and he says, "Hey, bro, hold my beer." And, and who the hell knows what he's about to do? But that's pretty shocking. So
That
yeah,
sounds about
penguin and
right.
a sombrero to begin with is a little bit, I was toying a little bit with answering like, "Hey, is it hot in here or is it just me?" but I think the hold my beer thing is a little better.
I'm a penguin. Everywhere's hot.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
deal. Number 32, or no, this is 33. You've been given an elephant. You can't give it away, and you can't sell it. What do you do with it?
Oh, I keep it. I would totally keep it. It's an elephant. I mean, who else around here has an elephant?
Well,
In fact,
you know what? I'm gonna agree with you actually, and I'm gonna tell you why.
why?
I would love to have an elephant in my house, uh, because then people are too afraid to talk about the elephant in the room.
That's pretty good. I actually have people that like to steal my Doritos, mainly my wife. And if you've seen that commercial, the guys that steal the Doritos, that elephant would come in very, very handy.
Yeah, see, well, the problem with elephants, and the reason I personally would not want one, is when they go to the bathroom. If you're standing in the way, you're likely to just die.
To just die. Yeah,
Well,
game over.
yeah, well, you don't even have to be in
Game
the
over.
way of what's coming out. You see that and you go, wow, that's a big one, and then you just have a heart attack like a Widowmaker one and just collapse, like, because
The Widowmaker.
yeah, well, your brain goes, can you imagine if something like that came out of my body, and then your blood vessel bursts, you die of an aneurysm.
It would definitely be traumatic. I mean, I don't know if you'd have an aneurysm, but it would definitely be traumatic. I
Right.
mean, any bodily excretion that you can call the Widowmaker would definitely be something that
Well, the Widowmaker is actually a type of heart attack. Um, I forget the name of the individual valve, but it is the heart attack with the least likely survival rate.
yeah, I know,
Uh,
but we're talking about an elephant,
well, I was talking about
basically.
you seeing that pile of shit and then having a Widowmaker heart attack.
Well, I was thinking the pile of shit was the Widowmaker.
Oh,
That's how I was picturing it in my
I
head.
mean, if it
That's
crushes
okay.
you, it is a Widowmaker. If it
I
crushes
mean,
you,
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
do you know how big an elephant is? Have you ever seen one?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've seen them. I go to the zoo periodically every 20 years or so. Yeah.
So you're due up to go again next year, then?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Next year is my
You're 39, so you're coming to
my.
40.
That's right. Next year is our 20 year romp at the zoo. Absolutely.
Yeah,
We'll
just
see how it's changed.
take her to the zoo. You could stand under the elephant and go watch the Widowmaker, and then you die, and she's
Yeah, I think you have to pay extra for that though.
happy anniversary.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I know some couples that would be very happy if the other died.
Jesus Christ. So we're already talking about penguins and elephant shits on your channel, and we're not even 10 minutes in.
Well,
This is gonna go up.
I can promise you it only gets worse from here. We
Okay.
actually have two former guests in here. We do have a balanced breakfast, and we have
Okay.
Broken here. They can tell you it does not get better.
Yeah, and I missed Broke Joe Gaming's. I missed his section. I need to take a look at the VOD actually. I remember looking at it. I remember searching for it last week, like on Monday or something, and it was Twitch was having some problems and it was constantly buffering. So I need to go back and watch it. But Breakfast Live, that was a great session.
Well, good news for you. I upload these talk shows with permission, of course, to the guests to YouTube so that they're more easily available for anybody who wants to go and watch them. Because of course Twitch deletes them after it's like 14 days or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
One beer down, opening another one. I should have started at like 8 in the morning.
8 in the morning. That would have been a long day, man. I don't know if you would have been functional at this point. I
Uh,
don't know how quick you go through them, but I know I wouldn't have been functional.
Honey Bunny says it gets way better. I guess that defines on your depends on your definition of getting better.
Well, I mean, yeah, it depends on your taste, I guess. I'm down for it. Whatever happens, I'm down for it.
The
Everybody who knows me knows I'm down for it.
Well, the bad news for you is the other two I did of these, I was sober. That will not be the case. And I know you already because everyone does. You already think I'm a strange person. Maybe not strange,
I don't
unusual.
think you're a strange person.
Okay,
If I were to
well,
choose the words,
But
It would
but
be
but
you are.
it would be
But that's
what?
good.
What would the word be?
Oh, you're definitely a strange person.
Oh,
That's good. I like strange.
yes. Well. That's imagine that. But now I'm also drunk. Uh, and that's what you have to look forward to. Little known fact. It's one of the layers of hell that Dante didn't describe. So welcome.
So it's the eighth layer of hell, the eighth ring of hell.
No, we're talking about like the 30th.
The
There are at
30th.
least 20 that Dante didn't even get to because he looked at them and went, uh,
Because it just
I'll
didn't
write
add
the
up to
sequel.
me.
I'll leave the
Because
sequel
it
up to
just didn't
Michael
add up.
Bay. But where was I? I was somewhere.
You were on question 32. I think it
Oh,
was.
yeah,
I don't know how we ended up there, but
you know what I got to tell you. So most people they have a couple beers and they're all right. You know, they can function. Um, I'm a small person, a little person, not a midget, but a little person. Uh, Most people when they see me on cam, I guess my upper body gives off the impression that I'm a lot taller than I am. But
yeah, I
if
can see why.
okay, if you had to take a crack at my height, where would I fall?
Probably around 5'7", maybe.
You're aiming too high, buddy.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, way too
Wow.
tall.
That's all right.
Yeah, depending on which of my previous or current IDs, state IDs you consult, I'm somewhere
Mhm.
between 5'1" and 5'3".
Really? I never would have thought that you were that short.
Yeah, no, most people don't. But fun fact about that, every woman I've ever been with has been taller than me, and it's great because their legs are really long.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I bet I could imagine the reason for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When I hug them, right into the boob.
nice.
Right? Of course, you can't agree. You can't agree with that exactly because you're married. I don't think your wife would approve.
Well, my wife is a whole lot shorter than me too.
Oh, right. So when she hugs you, her face goes right into boob.
Yeah, but Joviah, boo. I mean, come on, man.
Hey, that just means when I hug you one day, if I ever go to TwitchCon or you come to
Yeah,
GlitchCon, whenever I organize that, my face
that's right.
right into Joviah boob.
Right. No, it's gonna be great. You're gonna love it. It's gonna
Wow,
be great.
you sound really confident about your boob.
I mean, I've had them all my life. I'm pretty comfortable with them.
Well, you know what happened to me is, so up until I got out of high school, I was 100 pounds. Yeah, I know. And
100 pounds.
I don't know what I weigh now, but I put on a lot of weight since I got out of high school like 7 years ago. And like I'm at the
Yeah.
point where I can take my boob and I can make it jiggle, and I used to not be able to do that.
Oh, it's time to time to tighten it up, man. You got
Yeah.
to tighten it up. So that's what I'm working on right now too.
Do I tighten it up by like turning the nipple?
Yeah.
it's,
If you turn it clockwise,
it's the only way I
it'll
found to
work
do
its
it.
way out. Yeah.
But oddly enough, that's my whole weight and height is kind of relevant to something else that's going on in my life lately. Now I don't know if you've watched other talk shows, but my problem with like the late night talk shows is the hosts never talk about themselves, and that bothers me. Because
Well, I think, but the hosts have their monologues and the rest of all that stuff. Like you watch somebody like Stephen Colbert and they're on Twitter and
no,
people sort of
see, I'm old
know.
school. I'm old school when it comes to talk shows. I'm more Johnny Carson.
Oh yeah.
I can't watch talk shows today because they just don't do it right. They don't do it in a way I like. There's only two talk show type deals that I can tolerate, and that's Johnny Carson and Howard Stern, and that's all I can deal with.
Well, Johnny Carson was the king of talk show hosts. I mean, just put that out there. He was the best.
Oh yeah, but
But there's a lot of people that we probably know here on Twitch that don't know anything about Johnny Carson.
oh yeah, so the reason I was getting into all that was because I haven't been to a doctor's appointment in somewhere between about 2 to 2.5 years. Uh, and I actually set an appointment because I have health insurance this year for May the 3rd. And I'm pretty sure she's just going to look at me and go, eh, it's all broken. We're going to recycle all of
It's all
this.
when your
Well,
doctor starts the diagnosis with,
well, yeah,
it's
like,
not good.
there's not much we can do for you. Honey Bunny, Craig Ferguson. I'm a really big stand-up guy. I love his stand-up. I think he's an okay talk show host, but talk shows generally aren't my thing unless I'm doing them. So I haven't seen too much talk show, but I love his stand-up, so I can kind of imagine how he is behind a desk talking to people. Long as he's not Jimmy Fallon, where somebody just goes, "Hello, Jimmy," and then Jimmy Fallon just loses it and starts laughing and slapping his desk.
Yeah,
I
that's Jimmy.
yeah,
That's
I
how it is.
see. I like Jimmy Fallon on Saturday Night Live. I did, but
Oh
as
yeah,
as a talk show
it
host,
was
no
great.
thanks. Get him the fuck off there.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I mean, every now and then he does a good bit on his talk show, and I probably catch it on YouTube. I don't really actually watch his show, but him on Saturday Night Live, he was amazing.
So,
He was really good.
a follow up to what I was saying about the whole doctor's gonna look at me and go, "This is all broken. There's nothing we can do." So I'm a registered organ donor. I have this neat, flashy little icon on my state ID and all that fun
Hmm.
stuff. And I'm
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure if I was in a car accident tomorrow and 2 days later they're cutting me open to like donate my organs, they're just gonna cut me open and just like it's all useless. What are we supposed to do with any of this?
this doesn't look right at all.
Right? This isn't even in the right place.
What is this thing? They'll donate your body to like science,
It's gonna be
and
like
now
close
you're like a new species or something.
they're gonna cut me open and they're just gonna like this looks like Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, that's where you came from. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Little known fact:
You
Steven
know
Spielberg's opus magnum, whatever the fuck it is,
that is the way I would most like.
magnum opus.
That is the way I would most like to be remembered.
Yeah.
As a Twitch streamer, I'd love to do something like this for like 20, 30 years, become like an online personality type deal. Um,
Yeah.
not like the Kardashians. I'll get to that in a bit. But the whole online personality type deal. I would love to be remembered like when I die of uh eventually I'm gonna die. I don't know if you know that, but everyone dies. I
I
wasn't
mean,
sure if you
speak
were
for
aware.
yourself, but
Right.
yeah.
If you didn't, if anybody here didn't know that, I'm sorry to break the news to you, but everyone dies. So anyway, I would not mind being remembered like as that guy who like when I die, people go, he didn't die, he just returned to his home planet. Kind of like they did for
Right.
Bowie. I think that'd be a great way to be remembered. But
Oh yeah.
if I'm not remembered and I'm dead, I don't really give a shit. I'm dead.
They would just beam you up
Yeah.
to wherever you originated from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wherever
A
the
little
hell
known
that
fact.
is.
I mean, Close Encounters of the Third Kind was not fiction. I mean, that was real.
Yeah, I was in it. If you look at the backgrounds, I'm
Yeah,
in Close Encounters of a Third Kind.
you're right at the end. You're the little thing that came out and
Yeah,
took a
I'm
guy's
I'm
hand and
I'm
brought
the
him back.
hideous looking troll thing that was just lurking in the back through the whole movie that you never noticed.
The hideous looking troll thing, the one
Well,
that appears in the shadows every now and then.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? I was okay. You gotta understand something, Chobia. So again, everybody else that has done this, meaning three other people, because Matt and Tina obviously aren't exclusively one person, though they
Right.
might be. Um, I've never done one of these drunk. When I get drunk, my mind goes left and right. That's all you need to know. You're gonna have to deal with that.
That's fine.
Okay, so uh, I am still absolutely amazed because I don't think I, at any point in my life, have I ever mattered enough to a single person or a group of people where I'm gone for a certain amount of time, and everybody goes, "Wait a second, where the hell's Glitch?" So is there a little more detail you could like dwell into of like, okay, I'm gone for 2 days. Everyone notices. Like was there like anarchy?
It was. I mean, there was chaos in the streets, and everybody here in my neighborhood was looking for you. I know. I mean, we put the search parties out. We didn't find you, probably because you are so short. We didn't realize it. We were looking for like a 5'7" person. Little did we know we were looking for like a, you. No, no. In all honesty, though, we were. I think we were. I was watching Balanced Breakfast Live,
Yeah.
and Tina asked me if I was still on with you tonight, and then she's like, and then she realized, I don't. I don't know if I've seen Glitch Pro in the last day or two, and you're usually lurking in most of our
Oh
channels.
yeah.
We're live, so it was just sort of, you know what, I haven't seen him in the last day or so. And Tina was like, "Well, I hope he's okay," and I'm like, "Wow, yeah, I think he's okay. I'm
Like you
sure he's
guys,
okay."
like you guys are my wife or something.
Yeah. Well, Tina was worried, so
He
pinged on Discord said, "Hey, man,
he hasn't been
are
home
you
in
alive?"
he hasn't been home in 2 days. I'm quite worried.
Yeah,
Has anybody
he's
seen
gone.
him? Yeah.
Nobody knows where he's at. Yeah, no. So it was good. I mean, I hope somebody does that for me one day.
I'm
That's good
already
stuff.
worried about where you are right now. I mean, you're in Florida. Are you familiar with Florida, man?
Am I familiar with Florida?
Well, you're in Florida, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you familiar with Florida, man? Like,
Oh, Florida. Oh, Florida man?
yeah.
No.
Are you okay? So,
Oh, jeez.
Florida man.
It's just Florida. So, I mean, you got to see the headlines in our paper. I mean, a
No, no,
Florida
no.
man
That's the
would
thing
not.
is, Florida man is really popular outside of Florida. There are literal websites, blogs, and all kinds of things dedicated to headlines that begin with Florida man. And now that you mention that brings another thing up. You are going to respond to Florida man headlines for me since you live there, and tell me if it's a believable thing for Florida man to do.
Okay, well, I will just full disclosure. I mean, there's not a lot that happens in Florida that surprises me anymore. But yeah, let's do this.
All right, so let me see which ones I can find. Uh,
Oh shit.
oh, so I actually read about this a little bit earlier today, so it's interesting I run across this one first. All right, so the headline is, and I'll give you a little bit of details with each headline. I think that's important. Um, so the headline is Florida woman blames the wind for cocaine in her purse. Now, if you
I believe
hadn't
that.
if you hadn't heard about it,
I
what
100%
happened
believe
was,
that.
well, I'm sure you do. Wait, you believe the headline, or you believe she used that as an excuse?
I believe both. No, I believe the headline that she would
well,
say that, and I totally
well,
believe
you
this woman
know,
was using an excuse.
well, you know, in Florida, cocaine is just blowing around, just like in Scarface.
It is.
If you go back and you watch Scarface looking for cocaine in the wind, you'll notice that you're actually watching an entire white sheet because you can't see anything behind all the cocaine blowing in the wind.
It's true. And in fact, here we teach our children very young in Florida to wrap their toothbrushes in like a baggie, the little Ziploc bag, because we
Yeah,
don't want them. Yeah, you don't want your toothbrush getting cocaine all over it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a little known fact that yeah, they have a lot of cocaine down here going around.
So a little bit of info behind that story. She was driving her car, and okay, so imagine this. I want to see if we can fix this scenario. You are driving your car or your truck, or your wife if you are in a dominant relationship and you can use her as a chariot puller.
Hmm.
Um, so you're driving and you've got your windows down. Trace amounts of cocaine blow in through your window,
Hmm.
end up in your I don't know what's something women keep in their purse. Do we have any women here? Someone who could help me? Uh, well, you're married. What does your wife keep in her purse that cocaine could blow
Uh,
into?
I don't know. I don't look in her purse. That's like the
Yeah,
no-no zone.
yeah. Well,
Don't.
it's not that it's the no-no zone. 'Cause see, I have a mother like most people. Thankfully, my mother was around, and I remember purses. I can't tell you how many times she's told me to get something out of her purse, and I put my hand in, and I never see my hand again. Uh, but so imagine you have a makeup bag in your purse.
There you
And
go.
okay, so
Yeah,
you're
that
riding
works.
around your car. You have a makeup bag in your purse, or a
Hmm.
satchel. Since you are a man, you have a makeup bag in your satchel. Uh,
Hmm.
Cocaine somehow manages to blow through your car window while you're driving down the freeway, right into your makeup bag inside of your satchel. Uh, what do you think the likelihood of that happening is?
Well, I can tell you that if you were to use that argument in court of law down here in Florida, it would be turned down.
Right.
Not because cocaine is not blowing through the wind, because it totally is. That's why we call it blow. But
Is that why you live there?
No, it's just something you get used to. No.
Okay.
Uh, the reason that it's false, and you can tell right off, is that first off, the person was claiming that they're riding down the road with their windows down, and that's not something we do here in Florida
It's too
because it's
hot.
just too damn hot. It's too hot.
Yeah.
It's too hot. So right there, it's false, but I can definitely believe that she would have used that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so on to the next one. I'm not gonna read any further into this one, because I don't care to. But here's the headline. Um, Florida man accused of decapitating victim, as if that wasn't bad enough, with a vacuum cleaner.
Oh
So
my
either
god.
either that was one really powerful Hoover, or
Yeah,
he
I
took
want
his
to
sweet
know.
time,
I want to know what kind of vacuum cleaner that is because I've got
right?
a dog
That's what
that
you want to
sheds all
vacuum
over the
your
place,
house
and
with.
that's the kind of vacuum that I need.
Like that. Never mind all the other brands. That's the one you want to buy.
Exactly.
Like use that as your make that into your advertisement commercial. You know, just start
Hmm.
decapitating people during the Super Bowl,
Strong enough for decapitation. Absolutely.
right?
Keep your hands away from the nozzle, ladies and gentlemen.
Keep your arms and legs outside of the vacuum cleaner at all times.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I believe the headline. I totally believe the headline. It's probably false, but yeah, I believe it.
Okay.
It could happen.
This one I'm reading not for a response, just because I can't believe this is a thing. So a Florida man calls 911 to ask for help finding Drake and Lil Wayne. Responds, "They know who I am," before hanging up. I thought that was pretty good.
That is pretty good. Like, why would you want to find Drake and Lil Wayne? Like, why would you want to find them?
Honestly, I've been spending my entire life in trying to lose them, but they keep following me.
Yeah.
So next one. Oh, here's one that could have affected you. Thankfully, it didn't for today. Oh, this was March 22nd. Never mind. But, okay, so thousands lose internet after Florida man steals Spectrum truck to drive to Denny's.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you have a hunger, I mean, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, but if you're gonna steal a truck, just go to a high class place and steal the food. Damn it!
Freaking Denny's, man. Freaking Denny's. It's
Hey,
like the worst.
I'll tell you
I'm
this.
getting ashamed of that now,
I've been to
but
Denny's a
the worst.
total of one time, and the reason I only went once was because there's no Denny's near me. I
Oh
liked it.
well, actually, they are the hangover hangout down here. I mean, we don't
Well,
have like Waffle House or any of that.
okay.
Any
You
of
know
the
what?
ones.
They might be a pretty good hangout spot, drunk hangout down there. But you know where I hang out when I'm drunk? The the bathroom, honestly.
Really?
Not because I'm throwing up or anything. Uh, I just legitimately like the solitude of the bathroom. And no one's gonna bother me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, well, it depends on which bathroom you're in.
No, it doesn't.
Are you the guy that's like always in the stall, all creepy like, just hanging out in the stall, like nobody knows what you got
Look. I'm
going on?
talking about my house bathroom.
Oh, your house bathroom.
Yeah, no. I'm not allowed to be outside and drunk.
So, so you just go to the bathroom. Like once you feel like you've had enough, you just go and hang out in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, like once I get drunk enough in this discussion, uh, I'm just gonna pick up my laptop and its monitor, and I'm just gonna
Okay.
go right into bed. Not really. I'm not gonna do that, but I'll go to the bathroom frequently. That might happen, but I'm not gonna like just leave you here forever.
Well, I mean, once I just start hearing the echo in your voice, I'll know where you're at. So it's okay. I mean, you can hang out wherever you want. I don't know
Yeah.
why you would want to go to the bathroom though and just hang out.
All right. Well, I'm gonna scroll through these while we talk, but I have one more to read to you right now. And it includes a quote. So Florida man disguises himself in bull costume as he tries to burn down former lover's house with pasta sauce. And the quote is, "He was trying to make it look like I left the stove on, but who gets up 2 a.m. and fixes sketty?" the victim said.
So It's implying it was covered in like pasta sauce.
He was trying to ignite pasta sauce.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Really? Wow, that's that's pretty bad. I totally believe it. I
Right?
totally believe it. But I mean, and depending on the brand of pasta sauce, he might have actually succeeded.
I guess. I mean, if you're buying Walmart pasta sauce, who knows what they put
Yeah,
in that?
little Sam's Choice will do you in.
Uh, Golf cart driving Florida man tries to blow up neighbor's chickens with homemade whiskey bomb during dispute over BB gun.
I believe that. Yeah, no, that totally happened. In fact, not once a week. Yeah, like once a week we hear about something very similar. If it's
Hmm.
not chickens, then it's horses or goats or pigs or something. Yeah,
So, so things like this are really common down there.
they are. And we all drive golf carts.
See,
I mean, that's Florida.
my favorite thing that I like to do is I like to imagine that it's all the same guy, and that's his name. His name is Florida Man, and
His
he
name is Florida Man.
yeah, and he does all of this stuff. It's all the same guy.
Hmm. Yeah, it's all the same guy.
Yeah. Can you confirm that being from down there that it's all the same guy doing this?
It's probably not actually all the same guy. I mean, because we just have way more than our fair share of
Wow.
people that do idiotic things, just really stupid, idiotic things.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
thank you for killing my hopes and dreams about it being the same guy. Way to be a Mr. Dash amongst my dreams.
I know, man. I'm sorry, man. I just want to tell you like it is.
All
That's
right.
all.
So,
The problem is, I mean, if
yeah.
it was just one guy, it would be manageable because it's just one guy. The problem is that down here in Florida,
If
we're
it was
surrounded by these people.
well, you know how you know how like a lot of towns not so much anymore because now everybody kind of keeps to themselves. But you know how they would say like, ah, he's the town scamp or like, the town drunkard or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd like to imagine a Florida guy is just the state drunkard and he just gets into all of these things.
Yeah, he's that guy where the sheriff comes like to a call and he sees Florida guy sitting there. He's like, "Oh, it's just Florida guy.
Well,
He'll
yeah,
sleep it off."
like old man
Yeah.
is just outside on his deck having, a smoke from a brand they don't sell anymore that he's been saving in his military rations, and he's outside drinking like a Schlitz beer. So he's smoking and he's drink.
Schlitz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's smoking like something not popular anymore. He's smoking like a Lucky Strike, and he's drinking a Schlitz, and he just goes,
Mhm.
there goes that Florida man again. I wish he'd
Yeah,
move out
that's
of the
Florida man.
neighborhood. But yeah,
Just
man, Schlitz
Florida man just going down the road.
is is
Watch
is,
out
Sch-
for Florida guy.
is Schlitz not popular anymore?
I don't know when the last time was I saw Schlitz.
I've never seen a Schlitz. I
It's
mean,
been a while. It's been a
hey,
while.
it's the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
You might be able to find it in like a liquor store somewhere, but
Oh,
it's
well,
like in the back covered in dust. You know.
well, the dust adds flavor. But you know what I really think happened? If I remember right, they actually stopped selling Schlitz, and then they brought it back a couple years ago.
They-
Yeah,
I never
because
realized that.
everybody's father and grandfather drank Schlitz,
Yeah, that
slur,
was the thing.
slur.
That was what you drank.
Everybody's grandfather drank slur your words.
Mm-hmm.
It's even Jerry Lee Lewis had a song about it.
He did have a song about it.
He
Holy crap,
he
he
did.
did.
I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I personally love the song. It's what made Milwaukee famous has made a loser out of me.
You know, but it's Milwaukee, so I mean they come out with a different beer every week, right? I'm surprised Schlitz isn't really still around, but I'm sure I could probably find some if I looked hard enough down here. I'm
Yeah,
sure I could.
but is it worth the effort when you could just go to the store and buy something they currently sell?
Yeah, no, it's not worth the effort.
No,
But
it's
but
just
you never
not.
know. I mean, you might be in the back of the liquor store looking around at like their more obscure offerings and
Honestly,
run across a bottle of Schlitz.
honestly, if you really want to find some Schlitz, just go to your nearest Vietnam War veteran who probably stocked up on that instead of like food.
Good point.
I mean,
Yeah, they got
he
stash somewhere for sure.
he's still working his way through the
Yeah.
Schlitz.
It's in his prep room, where they keep all his he keeps all his supplies for the Indian world ready to go for Armageddon.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Lucky Strikes and Schlitz and his wife.
hmm hmm Nice. Yeah, that sounds like Florida Man.
Yeah.
I like
Oh, we're still talking about Florida Man now.
it.
Hey, I thought we were talking about Schlitz.
Well, we were, but he drinks Schlitz, so yeah.
I wouldn't mind some Schlitz actually. I don't even know if it tastes good or not. Speaking of obscure beers that no one knows about anymore, so you're 39, right? Are you gonna be 40 this year or next year?
I'll be 40 this year. Yeah, later this
Okay,
year.
okay. So that means you were probably born. What was it? 78? Is it?
78.
Okay, that's kind of sad because that means you're too young to remember. But perhaps you've heard of it. Uh, do you remember hearing about Billy Beer?
No, never heard of that.
I forget which president it was. Some president in the 80s, but he had an alcoholic brother. Which president was that?
In the 80s?
Yeah, I think it was the 80s.
Well, let's see. You had Reagan, you had Bush Senior, you had Clinton. Was Clinton in the
But
80s?
they had to have a they had to have a brother that was alcoholic. It was Billy Carter, Jimmy Carter's brother, Billy.
Oh, see, yeah, I was way too young to remember anything about
Yeah,
Jimmy
yeah.
Carter.
But they released Billy Beer, and because Billy was an alcoholic. Like I'm talking like think about the most you've ever drank.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine drinking 2 times as much as that every day. Yeah, and so that's the kind of alcoholic he was. And some company was like, "Hey, what if we made a beer after the president's brother?" And so they got the president's brother to endorse it and everything. Like there were commercials of him. I think I can't confirm the commercials. I haven't actually seen them myself. I'd imagine on YouTube, but it would be like the president's brother sitting there talking about when I'm thirsty, I go for a Billy beer, my beer, and but the funny thing was he did interviews where they actually did ask him how he felt about Billy beer, and he's like, it
hmm
tastes like absolute fucking shit.
I bet it. Oh, yeah, probably did.
So they
Ugh.
don't sell that anymore, but you can buy a 6 pack of
Yeah.
it. You can buy a 6 pack of it on Amazon for like probably $20 if you want to try it.
No, no thanks. I might pass on that one, but yeah,
Yeah, I pass on any beer named after a person.
yeah, yeah. I'm with you on that.
Mm. You know, it surprised the hell out of me. So my parents are thankful for it. But I like vegetables. So as a kid, I wasn't like ooh spinach and ooh carrots and all that shit. I was like yum. And so I was in Walmart uh, probably about a year ago, and I'm sure you're familiar with Popeye. You know, he's Popeye the Sailor Man, all that shit.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and of course, I was lucky. I was kind of like at the end of a generation where all those shows were still regularly played on TV.
Right.
So I knew what Popeye was, and
Yeah.
I'm going through
Who
Walmart.
doesn't know who Popeye
You'd
is?
be surprised. But so I'm walking through Walmart, and there's just a spinach can with Popeye on it, and I'm like, I'm buying that.
You had to have it.
Just because I want, I want to like take it home and go look at what they're doing now. And
hmm
the thing
Did you
is,
eat it?
well, here's the thing. It costs like 60 or 70 cents a can,
Right.
so it's really cheap spinach. The reason it is so cheap is because they don't add anything to it. They literally
Oh,
they
it's
ch-
just spinach.
right, they chop up spinach and they throw it in a fucking can with some water and they go, "Here you go." And
hmm
they refuse to buy anything else now. And most people today have forgotten what just spinach tastes like. because
It's
they
it's
put
not great.
because they put so much stuff in it to make
Right.
it taste a little better. I absolutely love the original taste of spinach. Like I wish
Yeah.
I had been eating this my entire life.
So you're buying that now?
Yes,
Like,
that's
because I haven't seen that in the stores down here.
that's all they buy now.
That's awesome.
And it's great. It's completely unprocessed. All they do is cut it up. That's the only processing they do to it.
Well, I mean, I like to cook. I mean, I talk about it actually on stream, like when I'm
I
getting ready to talk
honestly,
with cooking.
between all the fire and you blowing shit up, I've never heard you talk.
Really? Well,
No, no,
let her talk.
I've
Maybe I
heard you.
need to work on my volume levels
I
then.
no, no, I've heard you talk, just never about food. So no.
Oh, well, so when I get off stream, like this, my schedule is the way that it is because my wife is getting ready to come home from work
Right.
when I'm getting off stream, and one of the things that I like to do is just something that I like to do for my wife is cook her a dinner every night as much as I can. Right? I mean, we'll work out plenty too, but I like to cook. Um, so a lot of chefs would appreciate just raw spinach because they know exactly what they're getting. They're not getting a lot of extra salt or butter or whatever the hell additives you would add to something like spinach in a
Yeah.
can. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of people that appreciate that actually.
You know what's troublesome for me? The only corn that is ever made when I was a kid and now is the salt added. I adore corn with no salt added. I prefer it that way. Um,
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I like salt. You know, it's great for covering up mistakes. Uh, but as far as food goes, generally, for probably somewhere between 60 to 75% of foods, I prefer no salt added. Even potato chips, I try to buy potato chips with no salt added. Unless I'm buying like flavored potato chips, I understand they're gonna add salt to those. But like if I'm just buying potato chips with no special like sour cream and onion or cheddar or whatever, I try to find either low salt or no salt added.
So
And go
I'm
ahead.
the opposite. I'm the opposite. Like I put salt in pretty much everything, but that's I do. I try not to go heavy on the salt. I try to put in an appropriate amount, but that's because either the recipe calls for it or that enhances the flavor of whatever I'm trying to cook.
Well,
I can't do potato chips without salt. I can't do it.
a recipe calling for it is one thing, you know, but like I've seen people, and I'm fairly certain this isn't usual, or at least it's not usual where I'm from. They will get their ham and they will put salt on their ham, and ham is already pretty much drenched in salt.
It can be, yeah, yeah,
And it's like, why would you put salt on the ham? Are you trying to die?
yeah. That's a death wish. No, there are certain things you don't need to put salt on, and actually, my goal is always to serve a meal that you don't need to salt because it's already been it's good as it is. We don't have a salt shaker on our table
You know
because we don't need it.
what was really weird for me, and I talk about this a lot, and it's come up almost every stream, but only because it's recent history for me as far as last like 4 years of my life. So I had moved to Michigan. Um, the reason is a girl who I thought was the love of my life until she wasn't, so that's that out of the way. Um, so I moved
Right?
there. Now I'm from New Jersey. Uh, Anybody from the Northeast will tell you Northeast knows pizza. Everywhere else does it wrong, which is slightly true. Don't get me wrong. I've had pretty good pizza in other states. It's just not the same. It's what we're used to. Well,
Right.
the weirdest thing to me was in Michigan, they will literally put salt on their pizza.
Oh no, 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 no.
And the thing with that is, in New Jersey, you sit at a table, you have like your options of red pepper, grated cheese, onion
Yeah.
powder, garlic powder. There, none of that's on the table. You got a salt and a pepper shaker, and you have to go ask for the other stuff.
For a pizza place?
Yes. Go ahead, go say what the fuck, because that's what I said.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, why? Who puts salt on their pizza?
They do.
It's not even a thing. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it is a thing, but I don't understand why would first off, why would you put salt on pizza? Why would you consider that? And second, why would you go to a place where you felt compelled to put salt on your pizza? Because that's not pizza. I don't know what it is.
Throw it in the
But
trash
it's
and burn
not
it.
pizza. Yeah, it's not good. It doesn't sound good. So note to self: don't ever go to Michigan for pizza. Got it.
Another thing, I don't know. Have you ever been up northeast?
Yeah, I've been to the Northeast a couple of times. I mean, I've spent most in the South and Southeast,
Okay.
but I mean, I've been up there a couple of times,
Have you
either
ever
time
spent
off of work or
time?
whatever.
Have you ever spent time in the Philadelphia, Western New Jersey area?
My wife's family is from Philly, so I've taken one or two trips up there for like a weekend. Uh, but I mean, you go and get cheesesteak up there. You
Okay,
don't go and
see.
pizza. Yeah.
Here's the thing with that. If you come up here, another thing the Northeast is pretty well known for, is pretzels. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that, but so the Northeast,
Yeah.
I
I
don't
knew
remember
that.
the exact number, but
Pretzels and bagels.
yeah, we the Northeast eats some absurd, multiplied times amount more than anywhere else in the country, for pretzels.
Do you really?
Yeah, we like I don't remember the exact number, but something like 4 to 6 times more pretzels a year than anywhere else in the nation. Just do yourself one favor. Never tell anyone that your favorite pretzels come from some sort of chain place in a mall. Namely, like Auntie Anne's or Auntie
Oh
Anne's.
yeah.
There's two ways to pronounce that. Never go there because it's just not worth it.
Don't. Well, Auntie Anne's, I usually get, if I'm gonna get anything, it's gonna be like one of their cinnamon buns because they have pretty good cinnamon buns. But usually I don't see them when I'm passing through in an airport anyway. So it's not like I would go
Yeah.
there. It's because they're the only thing available. That's the problem.
I don't know about you, but I finished my second beer, so I need to go grab more. I will be, well, I kind of gotta go to the bathroom too. I'll be about a minute. You can either keep talking to yourself, or if you gotta go too, I can put up the away image.
Yeah, put up the image. We'll come back in what, a minute or so,
All
a
right.
minute and a half.
So away image it is then.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'll take a quick.
Said liquid entertainment.
That's right. Sal was wondering where we were. He might have just joined us.
Said, yeah, but just I love that all the entertainment left. Just grabbing more liquid entertainment. Is that what you call liquor?
No, it's just fuel for the brain every now and then.
Fuel for the brain? Is that what you call liquor?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. It keeps you loose and ready to go, right? You do stretches before you work out or you run or something like that. For me, you have a beer to loosen yourself up and you're ready to go.
Honestly, I quite wished uh, that instead of waking up at like 10 this morning, that I had woken up at about 4 in the afternoon. Because what I had to
Mm-hmm.
do today. So what I like to do is I help my family around the house. I do things, and they're kind of grasping the concept of Saturday nights. I explain the talk show type deal thing to them, and they know not to disturb me at all. Thankfully, I'm home alone right now, but they know not to
Right.
disturb me at all during these, unless the house is on fire. So I make sure anything they need me to do is done long before I do this,
Right.
so that they have no reason to disturb me. Um, and I woke up 2 or 3 days ago, at like 2 in the afternoon, and my dad says to me, he goes, "We're building a clothesline on Friday," and I'm like, "We're building a clothesline on Friday," and he goes, "I just said that," and so he works on Fridays. And so I had to dig a post hole. You take a post hole digger, and I had to go 24 inches down. And I get the
Uh-huh.
24 inches down with it. Mind you, the ground in my backyard, you might as well be digging through like obsidian.
Right.
And so I get down 24 inches on the first one, and I go to do the second one on the spot he marked. And I get down, and I immediately hit metal and plastic. And
Oh,
it turned out to be something somebody had just left there. Mind you,
okay.
I was only 2 or 3 inches down. Somebody left something on the ground 10 years ago. Over time, dirt and the elements covered it up, and so he
Yeah.
removed that. So I had to finish digging it today. Get down 24 inches. We had to put the whole clothesline thing together with a whole bunch of pieces of wood he bought, and so I got that completely out of the way. Um, but I wish I was drunk when I was doing that because it would have been so much easier. It,
Well,
it,
yeah, probably.
it would have felt easier. It probably would not have been easier.
Yeah, and you'd be hating life right now too. Actually, working out in the yard when you're drinking is just it's a recipe for disaster, my man.
Yeah, well, you don't gotta tell me twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
We can't actually dig here in Florida. I mean, in my backyard, you can't dig
wait,
anyways because
wait.
we're on that slab of limestone, which is why Florida is so flat and why the Everglades even exist. I'm in like way south Florida, by the way, like
Wait,
way south.
the way I took it was you said you can't dig in Florida. I
You can't
assume
dig in Florida.
is it just because of the ground itself everywhere, or it's illegal?
No, no, no. It's the ground. It's the
Okay,
ground.
okay, yeah.
If,
See,
if
that's
you want to, if you want to dig, like getting 24 inches down, like you dug, I couldn't do that in my backyard. There's no way. I would be like a jackhammer
yeah,
because it's limestone. It's all rock, so you can't go
yep.
anywhere. And I can't grow shit in my backyard either.
That
I have to grow
that's
everything in pots.
that's the problem with our yard in the back. It's it's not any type of stone. I don't know what kind of dirt it is or how compact it was, but so digging a 20, I don't know if you've ever done post hole digging.
Oh yeah, yeah, I have.
It's in certain grounds, it's pretty easy. Um, you hit the ground, you get a good 2 or 3 inches of dirt, you scoop it
Yeah,
up, and 24 inches takes 6 or 7 hits.
yeah.
24
No,
inches in this type of ground takes about 30 or 40 hits.
see, 30, 40. It would take me half an afternoon with a pickaxe.
Yeah, with a pickaxe, not even just a
Yeah.
post hole digger.
No, no, it's a pickaxe. And I actually have a pickaxe. My wife, I was
Is
walking
it,
through the hardware store when we bought it, and I was like, "Let me get this pickaxe." And my wife was like, "No." You've been playing way too much Minecraft.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, is it because you wanted to play IRL Minecraft?
No, well, we had a job we done in the yard, and a pickaxe would probably help out. So I bought this pickaxe, the biggest and baddest one I could manage, that I could lift, anyways.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You just been playing too much Minecraft." I'm like, no, no, no. If you want, that post, if you want a mailbox redone, then I need.
If you want a mailbox.
Oh, yeah. For 10 years, we had this mailbox that was leaning like 30 or 40 degrees, like just sort of to the side. And, I work from home, so I see the mailman come every day, and he had to get out of his little truck and actually walk over to the mailbox because he couldn't get close enough to it because it was leaning over. So I figured one day I'd buy my wife a nice mailbox. I did. But the next problem is, of course, you have to mount it in an appropriate fashion, and I needed a pickaxe. Another excuse, another pointless tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Even though you're quite the geek, you're also quite handy then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like where I stream from, I was telling you right before we got on, I built my man cave, which was a decrepit shed that was in the backyard. My wife at the house, before I ever met her, and it was falling apart and rotting. So we totally rebuilt it, totally refinished it, and everything, and that's where I work all day now, and I stream in the afternoons. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally redid the whole thing. I did it by hand. It was fun. It was a long job. It was like a year. It was like a year's worth of work, and I learned a lot. But
Yeah. She's
it
she's
was.
she's basically happy. She just doesn't have to look at you for a couple hours.
I think she's very happy. She doesn't have to look at me for a couple
No,
hours.
but
I mean, we have our own things that we do, right? I think that's a healthy relationship, is that you feel comfortable being away from your significant other for
oh yeah.
the time it is. Yeah. So
Yeah,
because I do my thing, she does hers.
I'm sure it's obvious by now. I generally don't stop myself from saying anything. Um, but the main thing to know is it's all one big joke, essentially.
It's all one big joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Everything is one big joke. Because personally, I would not look at you for more than a few hours. That's why I'm glad your stream ends when it does.
Exactly. And that's why I keep my streams relatively short most of the time too.
No,
You're
no.
not alone.
Well, like for me, like I do a stream before and after dinner, and the reason I split it up is because nobody should have to look at me for that long. Just
So you're in the same boat as I am, right? Nobody wants to look at you. Nobody wants to look at me. I get it.
yeah,
We
yeah,
get it.
just
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure no one dies watching my stream.
Dies from an overdose of the glitch, bro. I can
Well,
imagine.
what happens is you get an aneurysm. You go, I can't
Is that what
believe
it
that
is?
I can't believe that much hideousness exists in one person. Ah,
It's like it's another widowmaker, right? Just
right.
like the elephant, and too much glitch prone does the same thing. I'm sure I'm in that category too. So don't feel bad, man. You're in good company.
Okay, I missed like all of that. I am at least mildly buzzed now. And
Well, I'm not gonna say it again.
well,
You'll have to check your own VOD.
I'm gonna have to check my VOD. Like, what did I do last night? Check your VOD.
What did I do?
But
What was it that he said?
no, what happened was so of course OBS tells me how long I've been live. So I've been live an hour.
Right.
And I started drinking probably 15 minutes before this started, and I cracked open my third one. And as I said, I'm a small guy, so that much that quick will hit me rather fast. My liver goes, ooh, yummy, and then immediately sends it to my bloodstream as fast as it can. It also doesn't help that I ended up not eating dinner.
Oh no, you gotta eat.
That's like it's literally like probably a good 70 or 80% of the time that I drink, I haven't eaten beforehand.
Are you, so I gotta ask, I mean, are you drinking because I'm on the show, or do you typically drink on these shows? Because I couldn't tell.
No, this is the first time I've drank on one of these shows at all. Uh,
Okay.
the reason that I'm drinking while you're on is because I just happen to have money this time.
Okay.
You
It's
know?
not because it's not because you watch my stream and you say, "Oh, Jovi is an alcoholic," so I should probably join him in that for him.
Well, honestly, let me put it to you this way: you stream almost every Friday with Balanced Breakfast, uh,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
and
those shows are hilarious. Those I look forward to all week. Those nights, Friday nights.
so you stream with them pretty much every Friday, and you drink when you stream with them, yes?
Oh yeah, yeah. Probably more than my fair share. Yes, I drink.
Have you ever been in a stream with them without drinking?
No, and I don't know if I don't know if I should.
You have no idea how hard it is to deal with them sober.
Right, exactly. So I
No,
don't know.
that's just a knock on them. I'm not serious. They were a blast. I love having them on here, but
Yeah, yeah, I love it.
but the reason I am drinking is because I actually had the money to drink this week. Uh, it's probably a good thing that I don't have a regular income. Because if I did, I'd probably be drunk at least once or twice a week. Uh,
Well, I mean, you know,
some people would
that's not
say,
necessarily a bad thing. That
may-
sounds fairly moderate to me.
well, the thing is the idea of like even low level alcoholism is that you can't function without it, or that you can't drink and then do something you need to do. And the thing for me is so I think I talked to Balanced Breakfast about it, because so streaming is my main source of income.
Oh,
Surprise, I know most people haven't scrolled down and read my info, uh, because no one does. But so yeah, it's my main source of income, and where the hell was I headed? Uh, no, that's not it. Okay,
well,
I
just let's take a step back though, because I have read through your info, but I don't know if I ever got the impression that this was your main source of income.
yeah, it's this is all I do. I can go a little further into that. I
Oh,
have,
okay. Actually, no, I understand why you're saying that now. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
but I remember where I was going with that. I could drink and do my streams. It's not going to impede my daily life. Uh,
Right.
but but I don't. I personally do not like drinking multiple days in a row, which is like the classic sign of alcoholism. Uh, or at least it's supposed to be. You know, and I'll drink tonight, and tomorrow I'm like, shouldn't have done that, and then I won't do it tomorrow. I couldn't. But some people drink, and then they wake up and they just immediately start drinking again, and I don't get that. I couldn't.
Yeah, my grandfather actually did that. But it reminds actually we're watching my wife and I are making our way through Shameless, the show. And you want to talk about some alcoholics, those folks on that show. I mean, after every episode, I mean, we always turn to each other and we're like, people really live like this? That's like, holy crap. I mean, the show is hilarious, but good God, the amount of alcohol that's consumed in the show is through the roof.
Well, you know, any amount of alcohol generally consumed on any show is unrealistic. Like,
Yeah.
cause I remember being a kid. Cause you know, unlike you, I was a kid not long ago. Uh, I'm sorry, that was kind of rude.
I actually just realized what you said.
Yeah,
Well, you
yeah.
know what? I still feel like I'm a kid, though. That's the thing. I might be
Well,
almost 40 years old, but
there's
I'm
kind
just a
of
big kid.
an explanation behind that too. But so I remember when I was a kid, when I would watch TV, uh, if like somebody went through something stressful, they'd come home and like they would have a couple glasses of like whiskey or scotch or whatever on TV, and they would take it down like it was nothing. And you go to a bar now at 21 years old, and you go, yeah, I'd had like some scotch, and you've never had liquor before. First off, when it hits your throat, you want to die.
Yeah, you can't drink it like they drink on TV. No,
Right? Like on TV, there's like
you can't do
no
it.
like weird face, no slight coughing, nothing. They're just like, my favorite. and some people can. Some people can do it without making the faces and all, but the average person, they're not drinking it because they want to relax after a long day. They're drinking it because they want to forget the long day. It's like, ugh.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but like if you were to sit down at the bar, or like actually the classic scene on a TV show would be like you walk into the guy's office, he offers you a drink. First off, I've never been in an office where they have a wet bar, off to the side, and they're just handing out bourbon or scotch or whatever it is they're drinking. That seems a little counterproductive, especially for the kind of money that those folks are supposedly making. But second, like to sit down at the bar and to order, scotch on the rocks or something and down it in one fell swoop, that seems like you can't do that. Like I can't do that. At least I can't do that.
Well,
Uh,
the thing for me is,
ugh.
this actually
It
leads
seems
me up
to
to
me,
a story, sort of. And I don't know if I've told the story before, but I don't drink hard liquor, and it's not even like a really good reason. It's just a funny drunk story. Um,
mhm.
so a friend of mine, his boss gave him a bottle of Captain Morgan spiced rum,
Oh boy.
and
Oh yeah.
he didn't
A
like
lot
it.
of good stories start with Captain Morgan's Spice Drum.
Yeah, so he didn't like it. So he gave it to me, and it sat in my room for like 2 or 3 months. I didn't touch it uh, until I did, and so it's about 4 in the morning, and I'm like, screw it. You know what? I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna have some of this spice rum. Mind you, I was drinking it straight out of the bottle. I didn't even get myself a
Right.
glass,
Oof.
so I have no idea how much I had. Um, so I started at 4 in the morning, and it took about 20 minutes. And after about 20 minutes, it was 7 in the morning, and
Yeah.
yeah, because
Well done.
that's
Well done.
that's how rum works. So after about 20 minutes, 3 hours had gone by, and
Hmm.
my mom knocks on my door.
The question was there any more left in the bottle?
Oh yeah, there's tons left.
Oh, okay.
But so about 7:30 in the morning, my mom knocks on my door. She goes, "I need your help with something," and I'm like, "Okay."
You're wasted.
Yeah, oh, I was honestly, I
Wasted.
still to this day, I have not been that drunk. And so she goes, I need your help, and I'm like, okay. At least I'm pretty sure I said okay. I'm sure it came out nothing like that, but that's what I said in my mind.
Okay.
And yeah, just like I need your help. Okay.
In
It's-
reality, what actually happened was you like got up from your bed or wherever and you looked like shit warmed over. Your hair was all cockeyed to one side, right? Because you had that head going on. You didn't say anything and you just shuffled out of the room.
that's probably what happened, but
Yeah,
so
that's what it was.
so what she needed was uh they we have a 3 in 1. I think it's 3 in 1. Like the 3 in 1 printer deal, where it's a
Mm-hmm.
scanner, a copier, and a printer.
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
she needed something copied and printed. I had done that a million times for her before.
Uh,
However, I had never done it after having a shit ton of rum.
did you have issues figuring out how to do this?
Well, so I'm standing there and I'm looking at the menu, and because it's got one of those little screens where you got the scroll like circle and then the OK button and all that stuff. And
Yep.
so she walks away after I come into the room, and she comes back about 30 seconds later, and she goes, "It's been 20 minutes. Are you done?" And I said, "I am nowhere near done. In fact,
This
I think I need to go to bed." So I
this is
left
a
and I
very
went to sleep.
complex operation here.
Well, that's the thing is, like, it felt like 30 seconds, but I've been standing there just staring at it without touching anything for like 20 minutes. And so she goes, "Are you done yet?" And I'm like, "I am nowhere near done. I need to go to sleep." And I just went right to sleep. I don't remember to this day what she needed copied. I don't know if I finished the project. All I know
Did,
is that I'm pretty sure my mom knew I was shit faced, and that's it. Mind you, my mom's okay. My parents aren't very big drinkers. In my lifetime, I can recall maybe between the two of them, I can recall maybe 5 times that one of them was at least tipsy over
did
the
she realize you were drunk? That's, I
that.
mean,
Yeah, but I never asked her, and she never told me like, "Hey, yesterday morning you were fucked."
yeah, I can't even imagine my mom saying the word.
Well, I can't either. But well,
Yeah,
hey, I'll give you a little bit of background. My mom's very religious, very Christian woman. Not
yeah, my mom is too, actually. Yeah,
not overbearingly so. Like you could sit, you can talk to her. But the problem is if the conversation gets any deeper than dirt, it's thank the Lord and thank Jesus.
yeah,
So,
my mom's not that bad, but yeah.
but
Well, and that's not bad. I just want to say
it really depends
it's
on the
not it's not my lifestyle.
well, like it depends on the topic because like my mom's loosened up over the years.
Hmm.
But the point is so her and my dad weren't really big drinkers. And so I'm not even sure if she knows what a drunk person looks like. Uh, but one of the funniest things that I ever went with my mom when she got tipsy is so my dad's brother married a woman who makes very strong drinks, and God bless her, I love her for it. But so she makes very strong drinks.
Hmm.
My mom had too. And you can imagine she's got no tolerance. She never
Yeah,
drinks.
she's done after that.
She got that virgin liver. And
Hmm.
so it's Christmas Eve. My mom walks outside. She sees the neighbor's Santa decoration and she goes, "Is that a transsexual Santa Claus?" And
As a religious woman, she's probably
that's the thing. Like you never see them like that.
right. No,
And
you
and
never see
so
your
like
parents drunk.
you see your mother through the eyes of a child, the eyes of your memories.
Absolutely.
And then
Yeah.
you see her as an adult drunk asking if that's a transsexual Santa Claus. Meanwhile, I was really drunk too. Because it's Christmas Eve. What else am I supposed to do?
So you're sitting there like, hell yeah, that Santa Claus looks like transsexual, man. What's wrong with yeah.
Well, well, the funny thing is that same night, 2 hours earlier, she had been outside talking about the fact there's 2 or 3 moons and how they should put the other ones away. And I'm telling her, this is where like the parental roles kind of switched. I said, "You've had enough. You should probably stop drinking." Because I'll drink and I'm pretty good, I might slur my words a little bit, but I don't start talking about, "Wow, there's 6 houses. I'm glad I moved here."
Yeah.
But
Oh,
so
yeah.
that,
You know, I've never really seen my mom get drunk like that. And I've definitely seen my dad get that way. Um, Not in a bad way, though. I first realized my dad really enjoyed drinking probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, I was already here in South Florida, and he ended up moving to what did he move to? He moved to Naples, or the Naples area, which for those that are not familiar is very southwest coast of South Florida, and that was a couple of hours away from me. And I would go visit him from time to time because I hadn't seen him in years. And every time I saw him, he had a drink in his hand, and it was always like Jim Beam and Coke. That was his drink
it
for
was
years and
never
years.
it was never like a light beer.
No, it was never like beer. No, he was not a beer drinker. He was a hard liquor kind of guy, but he never seemed like he overdrank or anything. But that was kind of when you're like you were saying, you always see your parents through the eyes of a child. That was when my view of my father evolved from as my dad, to he's going to be a drinking buddy for as long as he's still around. Unfortunately, he passed, but yeah, we had some good times. We had some good times.
Do you
Uh,
do you remember the first time you ever got drunk?
oh yeah, oh yes, yeah. I
Was
was living I was living with my friend at the end of high school, and we were finishing off our senior year of high school, and we had this sweet setup. We were living in the room over his parents had this huge house on the lake where I grew up, and so we had a boat and everything, and it was awesome. Uh, and he had this huge house. We lived in the room over the garage, me and him. There was separation, obviously, but we would hold parties for our friends up there probably once a week. And one night, somebody brought over like this bottle of vodka, and I just downed it. I'm like, fuck it, I'm getting drunk, right? Um, wow, that was rough. That was rough, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I had some great friends in high school, but
I think the biggest problem in the US as far as drinking is like kids aren't experienced to like okay, so if you give a kid 2 or 3 beers, he's gonna feel something. He's gonna
Mhm.
start understanding what actually consuming alcohol feels like. The biggest or like how to pace themselves. I think the biggest problem today, especially, is a kid thinks, oh, I can just down a bottle of Jack and I'll be fine. I'll wake up tomorrow morning and I won't be in the hospital with alcohol poisoning.
Right.
They
No,
don't. There's no experience gained from a
well, that's
small
a good
amount.
point. That's a good point. They start to feel good, right? They reach that point where they're feeling maybe a little bit woozy, they're a little bit comfortable, but they don't get that sickness afterwards. And that I tend to agree with you. If you're gonna go, if you're gonna go and drink, then drink and get that first experience and feel like shit in the morning, and then understand what alcohol can actually do to you. This is bad. It's not good.
Like I think your first time drinking should be right around I'm not gonna say like 8. Like I don't need an 8-year-old getting shit faced and trying to tell me
Mhm.
shit.
Mhm.
But like I think there should be like a supervised uh drunk night with your parents when you're like 16 or 17 so you actually understand how alcohol affects the system depending on the rate in which you consume it and then the alcohol uh, by volume percentages.
I would tend to agree with you, actually. I
Well,
think a little experience goes a long way.
like the first time I drank, like really drank, okay, I was the loser kid. Never had my first drink till I was like 21. I've had sips of things before I was 21. You know, like, hey dad, what does wine actually taste like? Here, I know you're gonna spit it out anyway. Taste this, and you know that kind of stuff. But I didn't really have my first true drink till I was 21, so I didn't know what being drunk felt like, or what being buzzed, or tipsy, or the other 50 names we have for different levels of intoxication. I had no idea. Yeah,
Right.
I didn't get drunk on my 21st. Shit, the first time I got drunk, honestly, was that first time I had rum. That was the first time I was truly well and good. Um, I had 6 packs before then, and as I said, I was a small guy. I was still around 100, 110 pounds at that time. So I'm not saying I would have benefited from the earlier just learning what it really does, but there are a lot of kids who drink on their 21st, 22nd birthday that aren't experienced with alcohol, and they end up in the hospital because they have no idea what any of these numbers mean. I mean,
Yeah.
if I was feeding you ham and I told you there was a 6% uh, content of something in it that you had no idea what that content was or how it would affect your body, you don't give a shit. You're gonna eat as much ham as you want.
That's probably very true.
And
It's very true.
so I do think there would be some benefit from there for and certain states there are laws like I do believe in the state of New Jersey, as long as it's done on a private residence, uh, minors can in fact drink.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yes, it varies from
I never
state.
heard that.
It varies from state to state. But I do believe, and don't take your legal advice from me, anyone here. That'd be a very poor decision. But in some states, it's completely legal for minors to drink in the privacy of a privately owned property. But in certain states, like they can't be outside; they have to be inside, so they can't drink on the front yard or some shit like that.
Inside on your own property, that kind of thing,
Yeah,
supervised by
which,
somebody
which
of age.
to be honest, if you're drinking inside, who's gonna know anyway?
Well, that's true. I mean,
I
why
mean,
you don't need the law to back you up. Just do it.
is Sheriff John Brown gonna break down my door and go, "Your kids are drinking"?
I don't know. There's some states where they would probably prefer that to be an option.
Yeah, well, guess what? America, it's not. Or some dumb
America,
shit like that.
exactly. Cue the exploding eagle icon video graphic thing.
For
Yeah, you've been watching. I don't know. I was watching Balanced Breakfast live when they were doing their Far Cry 5 playthrough, and it was hilarious. Like just the America imagery in that is exactly what I remember from when I was growing up. It was hilarious.
Far Cry 5 is one of those games. It's $60, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those games I will buy a year or two from now and be sad about it because no one's watching it anymore.
Oh, you're a patient gamer like me. I mean, I'll wait years before I start playing a game.
I mean,
But
there are games I have where nobody's gonna randomly stumble upon it. The only people that are gonna find me are people that regularly view me.
yeah,
Like I'll play those, but like it's nice having that potential exposure to a new viewer or two.
right. Well, some of those games have a very hardcore following. Like Far Cry 5 is not going to have a hardcore following, but there are some games out there where people will watch no matter how old that game is. You totally will. Uh,
I, I,
Not Far Cry 5.
I think I'm liquored up enough. I think I'm liquored up enough to ask, and I've never been in this opportunity before. Um, so since I started streaming, I've had people drop donations.
Right.
I've never asked them why. I've just kind of accepted it, and I think I'm drunk enough right now to ask you because you dropped as far as a single donation. Uh,
Was it $30? It
it
was
was
30,
at
3,000 bits, I think I
it
dropped.
was yeah it was 3,000 bits, which is $30. So that is as far as single amount. Uh, Not cumulative. So single amount. That's the third most single amount I've ever had dropped. And I gotta ask, why?
And I would respond because you're a friend and you support me and I support you, and why not?
Right, but like as far as supportiveness, there are a lot of people who tell you I'm supportive anyway. I request nothing back, and I never will. Uh, don't get me wrong. I like getting thrown money. Who doesn't want money thrown at them? But
It's a good question. I mean, I'm in a position to be able to do that for my friends, right?
right,
I mean, my day job, I get paid pretty well from a day job.
right.
Streaming for me is it truly is. I mean, I know this is the cliche thing to say, but streaming for me is very much a hobby. I don't ever expect to make a living off of it, although I would very much like to because I really enjoy doing it. Uh, but I have extra income. I mean, my wife and I are dual income kids. I mean, we're dinks, right? For like true and proper dinks.
Mm.
So why not? I mean, you do a great job. You invited me here. That's not why you got the donation, but you invited me here. You're supporting other folks that I really enjoy watching. I mean, why not? Why not support you and make sure that you can continue doing what it is you do, which is whatever it is you want. So there you go, man.
Wait, okay. First off, thank you, but I love the description of that. You basically said so you can continue doing what you're doing, which is, well, I don't really
Whatever
have
it
an
is you
idea, but it's whatever
no
the hell you
idea
want
what
to
you
do.
do. I mean, come on. No. You stream, you have a good time, you don't really give a shit. Whether you don't really give a shit about yourself when you are streaming. Right? I mean, you're playing the game, you're allowing people to enjoy that game with you, and that goes a long way with me. So there you go. That's why you got your that's why you got your Discord.
Are you saying these people that choose to show up actually enjoy watching me play video games?
I would think so. I
What a
would think so.
what a sad sack of people that I
I know.
love.
I know. We're all pathetic. All of
It's
us.
a sad sack of people that I love.
Yeah, exactly. No,
I,
but it's good though. It's good. I mean, these are the best folks that
like,
I've met in a long time actually.
but the thing is like, like, if I remember right, so you've subbed to me. I believe you're subbed.
Yeah.
Okay, and so Balanced Breakfast is subbed. I know a lot of my other followers are subbed. And it still baffles me because if we okay, we have quite a bit of time. Are you good till 10 p.m.? Like, can you
I'm
do
good
this
till
that
then,
long?
man. Yeah.
You're like, I'm married. I don't live with my parents. I live alone. I can do this until 3 in the morning if I wanted to.
No, I'm good. I'm good till 10. I'm good till whenever you feel like wrapping it up, Dave.
Okay,
I'm
so
good.
I've had oh, I just totally smacked the shit out of my microphone. That's gonna go through in the stream. But anyway, so I've had menial jobs throughout the year. I've done oil changes. I cleaned up an oil yard for a trucking company. I
Hmm.
did maintenance at McDonald's. I cleaned out foreclosure houses. For 2 weeks, 2 weeks from the from for 2 weeks in November of would have been 2008. No, 2010. For 2 weeks in November of 2010, I was a cashier at a Macy's. That was horrendous.
Oh yeah. That would be
Also,
the worst.
so hey, stupid bird, good to see you. So I worked all of those jobs, and they just I'm so uncomfortable in real life. The problem for me is so I was born to some degree. As far as they can theorize, I was born to some degree hard of hearing. Uh, and it wasn't terrible till I was about 12 or 13. Now, my hearing isn't a slow degrade, but because of growing up that way, I developed really severe social anxiety to the point where to this day I still don't really do phone calls. I hate them. I can't. Like, that actually brings me back to the thing where I told you I have my first doctor's appointment in like 2.5 years. Uh,
Yeah.
2 years ago, I had health insurance. I was in Michigan. I had health insurance, but you got a call to make an appointment, and I literally could not bring myself to do that. Uh, so what I ended up doing here was my brother had a doctor appointment. We have the same primary care physician. In person, I'm fine. I'm like, I need a doctor's appointment for the most part, and of course, he's there to help me with the whole hearing issue and everything. But my hearing is bad enough to the point now where I wear hearing aids, which I should have been when I was 12 or 13. But of course, at that age, it's like, I don't want to be seen as a freak, and you pull them out and all that fun stuff. And so I didn't really start wearing them regularly till I was about 20. Um, and of course, they help great. I'm able to do this, but it had such an impact on the way I grew up and the way I started reacting to things and perceiving things. Uh,
Yeah, I can imagine it definitely would.
and it doesn't help that I already have generalized anxiety to begin with, um, genetically from my mom who's got it. So it's just combining two types of anxiety, and that's just no thank you. Uh, and so I've been trying to find something that I could do to potentially earn a little bit to at least support myself. Because
Right.
thankfully, my brother, who you may have seen around, I'm Vitalize.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Uh, he
I didn't
supports.
realize he was your brother until several days after I think he followed me or
Yes,
something.
so that would be my brother, and he supports me in many ways. Uh, one of the things that has kept me okay over the years, unfortunately, has been cigarettes. And he gives me enough money to sustain myself on that for the week. Um,
Right.
I mentioned to you, I think, either a little bit after we started the stream or a little bit before we started the stream, uh, that nothing that I do with streaming is my own. And while that's true, nothing I do on a day to day basis is generally my own. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to find something I was comfortable with, something I could do and earn a little bit and be myself and be as open as possible.
Right.
And Twitch ended up being that. And it was hard for me to start because there were many days I sat there alone in a stream and no one showed up all day. And
That first stream is very hard. The first stream
yeah,
anybody does is it's the hardest stream you will ever do.
and well, my first week or two were like that, where it was almost just me sitting there, and then like one or two random person every other day. And
Right.
I knew I wanted to get involved in the Twitch community in some way. Like I knew I didn't want to just be a streamer. I wanted to take everybody else who's trying to get started and everybody else who deserves some exposure, all the decent people that come onto Twitch and stream. Because even though I'm not that far along, I was there at one point as well. And unfortunately, I don't have any financial incentive to offer to new streamers. But I knew that in my own personal experience, that just that emotional support and that just that hey, hang in there, you can do it type deal was worth way more than money. And so I wanted to do that for everyone that I could, including yourself.
Oh, yeah. And for my part, it's appreciated because you were probably one of the first few folks that I met on Twitch, and I don't know. I mean, I've met a ton of great people now, and I'm meeting more every day, right? So I get exactly what you're saying. Is getting started on Twitch is really really difficult, and I think it's that networking that you were doing and other folks in the sort of circle that we've got going on is, is invaluable, especially to new streamers like myself. I mean, I'm brand new too. 2 months, I think I'm coming up on my 2 month anniversary, um, which isn't really all that much. But I will say this. I will say this. Before I started streaming, I spent a lot of time on like Reddit, reading the Twitch subreddit, and you see every day it's like, oh, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. You know what? I disagree. I don't think that everybody is cut out for Twitch. I'm not sure that I am cut out for Twitch. I'm going to keep hammering on it. I am sort of a perfectionist for myself, which is I tried to line up as much stuff as I could to make my stream look as good as it could before I did my first stream. I had a lot of misfires the first few days, right? But again, it kind of rolls into having that dual income as well. I have expendable income that I can spend on gear or quality or graphics or sound or video or whatever I want to do. I can do it. I am lucky. I realize that. But there are some folks out there that just there are some folks out there that just they don't they that are not entertaining. Uh, it's not that they are bad at what they are doing. It's just that they're not entertaining. Um, and you can go to the IRL category and find a dozen examples of those folks. I am not saying that to be discouraging. I'm just saying that maybe Twitch is not the creative outlet for those folks. I think that they have a place in the Twitch community supporting a streamer of their choice, or supporting the community broadly in research or analysis or graphics design or game design or what have you. And I'm not trying to say this to be harsh. I'm just saying that not everybody's cut out for Twitch. I'm not sure I'm cut out for Twitch. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. I know you're doing your best. I think all of us are. But I don't know. I feel like a real asshole now saying all that. But I mean, I try to find the smaller streamers out there, just poking around the browse section and finding IRL channels. And I don't know. I've seen some really bad stuff. I've seen some really great stuff that goes completely unnoticed, but I've seen some really bad stuff too. Really bad.
One thing I do want to say. So we've got a couple streamers in here. Uh, Stupid Bird, of course, and I'm pretty sure Broke still around, and of course yourself. Um, Now, what I previously said may have made it sound like my first and foremost thought in coming to Twitch was for the money. Now, I've explained all of that before, how that's not the only reason I'm here, how it's not even the main reason I'm here. So, for anybody else here who is thinking about streaming in the future, I'm going to tell you this. If you start streaming for the money, you will fail before you begin.
Absolutely.
If you
100% agree.
if you come in here expecting to end up, with the hundreds of thousands of followers and earning thousands a month, and that is your main goal, that's the driving reason you do this, most of the time you will fail. Do you know how many people have been added to the affiliate payment of Twitch? How many people have got hundreds of followers over a month and drop off the face of the planet because the money's not what they thought it was?
Yeah. Lots.
Yeah,
Lots.
you're
I,
gonna.
I don't even know how many, but like lots. I don't even want to hazard a guess because I'm sure it's way more than I could ever guess.
I mean, I've been affiliated since February. I don't know the exact numbers, but so you'd figure I'm affiliated since February. Means March, April. I've been affiliated for at least 2 months. I would like to find out the numbers of how many people are still affiliated after 2 months and how many have just given up after, say 6 months. We'll say 6 months. How many people just hit 6 months and go, wow, I've only made $100 in 6 months, and then give up?
I will. Well, I don't know. I mean, getting that invite for affiliate was was a huge boost to me personally,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Just seeing that and understanding that, hey, you have reached your goal. Like my goal was never to be partner. My goal was just to stream and share games with people that I would meet here on Twitch because I knew that they would become my friends, and actually they actually have. So for me, that's been a huge boost. The fact that I see, like, if I see one bit come in, from you, Glitch, or Stupid Bird, or a Balanced Breakfast Live, or just some random person that happened to stop by and enjoy what they were seeing, that one penny, because it literally is, it's one penny. That I mean, the fact that somebody took the time to figure out how to buy a bit or watched an ad and gave it to me is an amazing feeling. That's great for affiliates, but if they're doing it for the money, then yeah, they will eventually fall off the face of the earth, and I think it's kind of sad. But at the same time, to something that Stupid Bird was saying in chat, Twitch has done a great job of making sure everyone can dip their toes in the water. I 100%, 110% agree with that. Twitch enables people to try their hand at something new and different and exciting. And I've been lucky enough to have a great support group in the group that we have, Glitch, you and me both. Uh, I have a great support group around me, so I don't see myself falling off the face of the earth anytime soon. For those that don't have that, I can totally understand why they would want to stop. It's not for everybody, and it can be very difficult, especially when you stream every day like I do. Like there are many days where I think, you know what, I had a shitty day at work. I just don't feel like pulling up that green screen and hit that button and going live because I mean, what am I going to look like, right? I'm in a shitty mood right now, but I do it, right? And I the way my wife and I look at it is it's a second job, and I really do put that many hours into it every day. It's a grind, but I love it because I get to play video games and I get to experience those moments in a game with people that also enjoy the same things that I do. And I don't know, like they might be few and far between, but it's
I uh I
awesome.
I do agree with the job aspect of it. Uh, because a lot of people go, "Oh, you just play video games. What could possibly be incorporated into that?" Well, what they don't understand is it's one thing to relaxingly play video games. You know, you sit here in front of your PC or your Xbox or your PlayStation 4 or your TRS-80 that you bought in 1983 from Radio Shack. Whatever it happens to be that you're sitting in front of, you can always stop. You can pause, you can relax, take a minute, or you're playing it for fun. You're not so focused on things going around externally. Whereas once you're streaming and you are on cam, there becomes an entirely new dimension or element to it.
Right. And that so Stupid Bird was just saying in chat, and I really respect Stupid Bird's opinion here. If you want to succeed at Twitch, if you're looking to make money, you have to treat it as a business. And that's what we're talking about when this is a second job, because you're not just talking about picking up a video game and playing it. You're talking about doing the graphics, coming up with branding. I mean, I spent a month on my logo alone, right? Which makes it into hats, which costs money, and you have to work the merchandiser to make sure that the color is perfect on your hat or your T-shirt or what have you. You have to have a graphics person to help you with all that stuff if you can't do it yourself. You have to come up with emoticons. You have to come up with alerts. You have to come up with overlays. You have to come up with plane tickets if you're going to TwitchCon, work with other people. You have to be able to do giveaways. You have to. It's the amount of work. I will say that I severely underestimated at the beginning, but I am loving every minute of it because I feel like it's a creative outlet that I've wanted my entire life. That's for me personally. It's it's difficult, but it is a full-time job.
Um, See, I'm not sure to which the extent that I can agree with it because for me starting, I literally took an Xbox, took a Connect, and put my face up in front of a video game. Now, I've done pretty good off that alone. There's nothing special. The little wizard I use, he is a picture that a friend of mine drew close to probably 4 or 5 years ago. Um, Thankfully, I did get a different icon and offline screen that a friend drew recently. But I haven't put anything fancy into this. I would like to be able to, but unfortunately, I'm one of those people that's in a situation where I can't put anything fancy into it yet. But aside from that, I think people really appreciate you uh, being just a person with them, just completely real, no bullshit, just being yourself.
Oh no, I completely agree with you. And I mean, watching your stream, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you love what you do, right? Which I mean, that's I mean, you enjoy playing whatever game that you're playing at the time. I mean, right now you're playing Dying Light, right? Playing through it, trying 100%.
Yeah.
That I mean, there are people that will come and watch that because they enjoy watching somebody play through the entirety of a game. That's one aspect of it. I mean, you have to have the personality to go along with whatever you're doing on the side. And that I'm if you rewind a little bit what I said, like I am in everything that I do, I try to be a little bit of a perfectionist, and I I'm a little OCD about it. I get that, but like the graphics on my channel and all that stuff, it's totally extra. It's beyond the game that I'm playing at the time, but it's something that I like to do because it makes me feel good, and I feel that it brings a lot of viewers to the stream. Maybe not many, maybe not, right? But it's there. It's another hook that I try to employ, behind the scenes to try to entice people to at least, spend 3 seconds watching the channel. If you don't like me, then you're going to leave anyways. It's the same for anybody, right? So, Glitch, what I'm trying to say is you don't have to have a fancy graphics. You don't have to have transitions. You don't have to have stingers. You don't have to have intro videos. You don't have to have any of that to get started on Twitch. Absolutely. It's you, the person, and the personality, and potentially even the game that you're playing that keeps people involved in your stream, which that's why I've developed a deep respect for you, Glitch, is because you do that all on an Xbox. There's nothing extra going on in your stream. It's you and the game, and it's very entertaining, which is awesome. So, yeah, I mean, take that for what it is, dude. It's supposed to be a compliment.
Well, if we're paying personal respects, and I've said this to you before, and I've mentioned it to other people before, the thing I like about you the most is not the games you play. Because every game you've streamed so far, other than Jackbox, I know what's going on with Jackbox, but every game you've streamed so far, it was the Wasteland, and was it Divinity 2 Original Sin?
Yeah, Divinity Original Sin 2. Yeah.
So both of those games, I have zero idea what's going on, but yet I'm so enamored and entertained by them, because of your description and your ability to draw me in and want to know more about it, even though I never will. I'll never learn about these things. I just like watching shit blow up. But you have the type of personality where you do draw in someone uh, on your excitedness over playing the game alone. And it's interesting because a lot of people take inspirations, and the reason I bring up inspirations is because I've been drinking and I absolutely need to go to the bathroom. So when I come back, you tell me inspirations and I'll know what I was talking about, I hope.
Okay. All right. Let's take a quick break. Let you go to the
Alright,
bathroom.
I will
I know you like to do that when you drink.
I will put up I assume you probably gotta go too, or gotta do something really quickly.
Yeah, I
Uh
need to run. Yeah.
I will put up the
Maybe.
away message and we're good for as long as we need to take. For everyone else, we'll be back soon. If you're drunk, don't stand up, it'll hit you all at once.
I have no idea how bad. I think it might be a little much for him. For those of you joining us a little bit late, the first thing Glitchprone was telling me is that he likes to spend time in the bathroom, after he's had a couple of drinks. So I'm just afraid he's not going to come back. I hope he does. I'm pretty sure he will. He wouldn't leave me hanging like that, but yeah, he said he likes to hang out in the bathroom. I still don't get that, but it is what it is. Glitch is awesome. But I've never met anybody that wants to hang out in the bathroom. Oh yeah, you heard that, stupid bird. He's not even gonna know that we've talked about this. He's gonna hear it on like his YouTube video and be like, "Son of a bitch, Joviah, talking about me behind my back." That son of a bitch. I invite him on my channel and he's talking bad about me behind my back. What's going on, stupid bird? How are you doing tonight? Sayo, Sal. Sal, I need to go with you and figure out. Am I using Skype? No, we're actually using Discord tonight, but for some reason I'm probably coming through a little bit robotic. We're not sure where the problem is. I know that I was talking with you guys last night and you didn't complain about it, so I don't know if it's on my end or if it's on Glitchprone's end or what. But yeah. Yeah, I know I can type to you, so it's just how to pronounce your name, dude. I'm not sure if it's Sao or Sal. Salunga. Full disclosure, I'm a couple of beers in myself. Stupid bird, how did drill day go today? Did you pass your PT? Saunga. Second one? Okay. Awesome. Yeah, you passed? Yeah, I didn't think you'd have a problem with it. Third one I also said is correct. Okay. Fair enough. Just another day, yeah. Yeah. When I was enlisted, I hated drill weekends. Jesus Christ, they were terrible. Hated them. Hated them. Okay, shh, everybody quiet. He's coming back. Shh, everybody.
Unfortunately, I have returned.
Yeah, we're gonna stop talking about you now, Glitch.
uh, so, I'm going to tell you a couple things I've never told anyone else before. That's a lie. I probably have told them at some point. But first off, I did something that I never did before on one of these. I've never actually taken a break during one of these, of any sort, even to go to the bathroom, because I think it's
Well, because you drink.
well, no, I think it's rude.
Well, I think people understand though. I mean,
well, but I think it's rude. But right now, honestly, I've had a little bit of drink. I don't really care what's rude and what's not.
fair enough.
so, I so of course, I went to the bathroom. I ended up going outside to have a little bit to smoke. So that's why I was gone for so long. I didn't even finish the whole thing, which is very odd for me. I always finish the whole thing, but I wanted to get back to you really soon because there was another secret I wanted to tell you that you can't tell anyone else.
Okay, I will not tell anybody.
Yeah, and all of you guys in chat, you're not supposed to hear this, so cover your ears. um, so I'm actually saving for a couple beers when we're done this.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because are you familiar with anything like the site Omegle or Chatterbait? Or not Chatterbait, that's the porn one.
Um,
No, it's Chat Roulette.
no, I have not.
Okay, so
But I will say, I'm not gonna get on Chatterbait with
No,
you.
I'm not getting on Chatterbait. No, that was a mix-up. That's like getting mistaken between YouTube and PornTube.
That's
Uh,
that's reserved for the private viewing on my Google Chrome.
no. So there are sites. So Omegle and Chat Roulette. Uh,
No, no,
essentially,
I'll check those out.
you turn on your cam. And your microphone. And mind you, Omegle used to be loaded with naked men, but they've since started
Mhm.
banning people like that.
Okay.
So essentially, you get thrown together with a random stranger, who shares similar interests. And so when I get drunk, growing up, I was very. You can see it on the wizard. He's wearing a spiked collar. I was very
Yeah.
into the gothic fashion.
You know what? That doesn't surprise me, actually. But yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, so I have a better one now, but I still have a collar choker type deal. And my favorite thing to do when I've been drinking is I get on Omegle and I get matched up with strangers. But I have instead of my microphone on, what I'll do is enable my stereo mix so that they hear whatever sounds my computer makes,
Uh-huh.
and I will blast "Girls Just Want to Have Fun," and I will lip sync to it because I know all the lyrics somehow. Uh,
I'm sure you're a fucking hit on this website doing
yeah,
that.
and so they'll run into me, and it's just a gothically attired kid fucking blasting out to "Girls Just Want to Have Fun," and
Yes.
they never expect it, and it's the most fun thing to me. I
No.
enjoy it. I love it. I don't do it on ChatterBait.
No.
I just want to stick that out there. I'm not flinging my floppy disk around and stuff, but oh, I forgot to grab another beer. Mind you,
More
I'm not.
importantly, though, you wait. You forgot your beer.
Well, here's the thing. I'm still working on another one. I just forgot for the one to bring up for when I'm done this one, so I can
Oh,
drink that. But go ahead.
the backup beer. No. More importantly, though, you've actually been on Chatterbait because I don't. I've never been on Chatterbait.
Uh, see,
Don't get me wrong. I just never checked out Chatterbait. I mean, I watched my fair share of porn on the internet. I mean,
I've,
it's
I've, I've
admitted
I've
to
gone to
it.
ChatterBait, and I know what it is. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't regularly use it. I mean, I probably looked at it twice in the last like 3 years just to see what was going on.
Well,
Uh, but but but
well, I
but
mean, I
but.
could have told you what was going on, but yeah.
but when you've been drinking and you've got chat roulette and chatterbait in your head, one of them's coming out and you're just hoping it's the right one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what happened.
well done there, Glitch. I mean, you chose the right one. I think Chatterbait. Everybody is probably interested in your adventures on Chatterbait, but
But
uh,
the reason I think I brought that up was because we were kind of talking earlier. It was brought up in chat, the whole personality marketing yourself, that kind of deal. Um,
yeah.
so I think I've talked about it before in previous streams like this. Uh, so when I was 12 or 13, the first job I can remember wanting was to be a stand-up comedian. That's the first thing I wanted to do.
Really?
If you can believe it. Uh, and then what happened when I was about 18 or 19? Actually 19 or 20. And I started using Tiny Chat on a
Hmm.
regular basis. I don't know if you're familiar with Tiny Chat,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, so it's just basically a whole bunch of random people cammed up, unless they're your friends, in which case it's a whole bunch of friends.
yeah.
Which I've talked about a little bit on stream, my experience with that. And so that was my first experience in really entertaining people. And so what ended up happening was I went to school for TV and radio broadcasting,
Mhm.
uh, because I felt like that was something I could do. And surprise, it's really hard to get into that industry. But
Surprise! You know, nobody
yeah,
lists.
they
Yeah,
tell you can get a job doing this, but they don't tell you that you probably won't.
it's
And
very difficult.
so I kind of looked back. I kind of looked back on. I wanted to do stand-up comedy. I've always been kind of, and I hate tooting my own horn, but I've always been kind of naturally funny. I'd like to
Yeah.
think.
No, well, I mean, I've only known you for what 2 months now, but yeah, Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
You are
that's
naturally funny.
that's
It
longer
comes
than
across very, very, very well.
that's longer than most telemarketers have known me, so it's good. Um,
Hmm.
but and then of
Yeah, I
course
can
with
only imagine what you do to the telemarketers.
oh, I'll tell you about the one I answered. I think it was yesterday. I answered one during my stream. Uh, but there's ones before that. The one yesterday wasn't terribly funny. But then so I kind of as I was doing Twitch, I kind of took it and I basically, yeah, Stupid Bird, thank you for joining. I don't even know if I've seen you in my channel before, but I much appreciate it, and I love you. But,
And that's not the beer talking.
yeah, no, it's not the beer talking. If you've watched any of my streams before at any point, I'm always telling people I love them, and I sometimes I even do that corny little heart thing with my hands. But anyway, so I kind of took the whole wanting to be a stand-up comedian, and I took the whole, radio broadcasting background, and I'm like, how can I apply this to Twitch? And I'm like, I can do terrible, terrible talk shows where people get really offended and mad at me. And of course, the guests have kind of taken that away. No one's really offended or mad, which is kind of disappointing.
It's because of your choice of guests so far.
Yeah. But so I kind of wanted to do something like that, and because I'm a natural supporter too, is where I like supporting people and making sure they continue to pursue whatever it is they want to pursue. I kind of took all that. I'm like, what's the best way I can do it? And I put it in my toilet, and I flushed the toilet. My toilet stirred it, so I didn't have to. And I'm like, ta-da! Streamer showcase talk show type deal, and that's what we're doing now.
I think it was a great idea actually. I think it was a great idea. Yeah,
I
there's a number of talk shows that I'll actually watch on Twitch, and they all come across very well.
what makes
They're a lot of fun.
what makes me really sad about doing the talk show is that I don't have 10, 20, 30, 40,000 followers. So the people I bring in don't get much exposure. But if they get one, two, three followers and maybe someone goes into one of their stream and throws them 30 bits, I think I've done what I can do, and I'd like to continue doing that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's another part of supporting the whole Twitch community, and I think it's important to do that. I mean, I was thinking about doing something similar to that, but it wasn't going to be a talk show. It's going to be more like probably like a tabletop role playing game or something like that. I think I've even talked to you about it, and I think you were interested in playing, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Sugar T actually sent me the, Stars Without Number original free edition on a website where I
Did
could
you
get
really?
it. Uh,
That's awesome.
yeah, where it's, she told me it's not the, uh, let me think. I'll read it directly to you. It's a lot easier. Uh,
Okay.
that's a link to the original edition of the game we're thinking
Right.
of playing, and it's free. Probably
Yeah.
we'll be playing a newer edition, but it's backwards compatible, and this should give you a good idea
That's right.
of how it works.
Yeah.
Which, mind you, I still haven't downloaded it, and because you need an account on that website, and like I open the link and I'm like, oh yeah, to make an account. Yeah, I'll do it later, and then I just haven't. But I will at some point because I was very interested in that because you get to say things to me like the troll or whatever the creatures happen to be. The troll blocks the bridge, and you have to get him out of the way. How do you do it? And it's like, yeah, I gently seduce him with pizza, and I roll a fucking 20, and you're like, holy shit, you just seduced the troll with pizza.
Right. And Stars Without Number, that particular system is perfect for a player like you and a GM like me because I'm never going to tell you no. And you can come up with the most oddballish shit as long as it makes relative sense and
Right.
context.
Like, obviously, I'm not going to take a time machine and go back to a time before the troll existed to cross the bridge. But, like, maybe I can cut off his, like, head with a slice of pepperoni.
No, it's totally possible in SWA. It's totally possible. And that's what I love about that system.
It's really frozen pepperoni, but I mean, it could happen.
It could happen. It could totally happen. On a mechanics and all that stuff, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it could happen. But yeah, so that was going to be my version of sort of exposing some folks to players that may not have watched them before, or even myself, right? It's going to be interesting because it's going to take a while for me to put together because of things, but yeah, it's going to be fun. I don't know. I mean, I am obviously taking inspiration from folks like, uh, just to throw out bigger names like JP does, his role play channel. He does his role play show, which
You know what?
I think is great.
I'm gonna
Uh,
stop you real quick. You're saying you're taking inspiration from bigger names, but
sure.
here's the thing. Imagine this. I don't know any of those bigger names. I just know you.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, basically, I want to get all our webcams onto a screen. I want to be able to show us rolling dice, and I want to be able to show other folks how to have a good time, and that we are all having a good time together, and that maybe we're worth something outside of just that stream. Maybe there's other things that we do of value that they would be interested in as well. Um, that's what I would say to somebody who's not familiar with me, JP.
Right.
So yeah.
Um, the only thing that concerns me right now, that's not even related to anything you just said. I just thought about is someone is gonna try and find out the things that I like, and apply them to their Omega likes, and try to
Mm-hmm.
find me lip syncing to girls just want to have fun.
It's entirely possible. I mean, I'm already so
Maybe I'll do that on stream one day. But
that would be amazing.
would it?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
You think someone would throw me like 50,000 bits?
I bet you somebody would. I
uh,
bet you somebody would.
that there's something I think I briefly mentioned to you, but I don't think I ever talked about it to you. So years ago, did I mention to you that uh, a video I made ended up going viral because of Reddit again?
Yeah, yeah. You told me that. You told me
So
about a video.
5 years ago or so. Actually, you know what? I will link you to the video in the middle of this so we can just hear your verbal response to it. But so some odd years ago, I think it's five. I made a video. Now 5 years ago, what was really common in dating websites was guys messaging girls they wanted to fuck because let's face it, they're not there to date. Uh, Guys that were messaging girls they wanted to bang, they would always end the message or put it somewhere in the message, please respond. And so the way my old YouTube channel used to work was I would wake up and I would have an idea and I wouldn't even question the idea and I would just go ahead and make it. That was my entire process. I would wake up, have an idea, and I'd make it. Uh, so in this one, I may have explained it to you before. I don't know 100% for sure if I did explain it to you, but I'm going to link it to you now, and you're going to watch it, I guess. It's 14 seconds, so it's really quick, and we will get to hear either how disgusted you are or how funny you find it.
Okay.
My only thing with this is you can't share it with anybody. My only thing is I choose who to share it with.
Okay.
But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
have a blast. So it initially went viral on 4chan, and years later it ended up going semi-viral on Reddit. It gained like 300 views in like a week, which was unusual. I was like, holy shit, where's that coming from?
All right. Waiting for it to load here.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Here we go. I don't have sound up. Hold on.
The sound is very
I,
important.
yeah. I figured it was. I need to let me get my desktop sound up. Here we go. what shit is all over your face, man?
It's crunchy peanut butter.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so
They're perfect for a dating website, of course.
so a lot of people on Twitch don't know that period of my life, and the whole thing is like you guys would be like, you're a little weird, you say things, but you're generally cool, and it's like, yeah, but you didn't know me 5 years ago when I was batshit nuts.
I think we all were 5 years ago.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
five
everybody
five
was
years ago was
batshit nuts at some point
what
in
was
their
five
life.
years ago? Well, 5 years ago was 2013. I don't know how much you remember of 2013, but I couldn't tell you a single thing I did in 2013.
I think I was drunk most of 2013.
I was probably drunk some of the time, considering 2013 is the year I turned 21, so
Hmm. Well, congratulations.
for being drunk most of the year,
Yeah.
thank you.
Anyway.
That's how I prefer to spend most of my years now. You get old and you either die or you start drinking a lot.
Right. That's how we do it.
But yeah, that's all of my other videos, which you're welcome to watch. I was drunk in most of those. There's one where I have no shirt on and I just have the old choker on, and I'm literally in a tiny chat room in the moment. And someone recorded it and sent it to me. Um, I do the whole shirtless dance type deal to like Goodbye
Mm-hmm.
Horses,
Oh, okay.
which if you're not
I'll be
familiar,
honest. I mean, the video you sent me was a little bit disturbing.
right? It's very
It,
disturbing. It's like highly up there in like the top 10 list of like things I
I
never
mean,
want to see again.
I'm trying to be nice about it, but yeah.
Like
I mean, it was a little disturbing.
right now
It
you're
was funny,
r-
but disturbing is what does this guy have on his face?
right, like right now you're drinking to forget. But there was something else. It was relevant to this, and I'll probably never remember it. No, forget it. It's gone. I'll never remember. That's fine.
Yeah, no, it's good. That happens to me too. Don't feel bad.
One thing I do want to do because they were entertaining to me earlier. I'm gonna open up that list of the interview questions that are apparently asked.
Okay,
I'd like to get through more of them because they were funny. They're just very.
they're a little off the wall, but
My most recent Google search is human feces fertilizer.
yeah.
The reason that is my most recent search is because my dad and I were debating this morning while we were building a clothesline if that was
Mhm.
legal in the U.S. Not because we're planning on doing it, but just because is it legal? I really don't think you've understood, like, because the extent of how weird I am ends in text. You've never directly talked to me.
Well, no, no, well, I don't think we've ever had the opportunity until now.
I mean, how many people have you spoken to and that where conversations ended up in this position?
Not many.
And you
Not
never
many.
you never talk to him again because it's dull as hell.
Right.
All right,
Right.
so
No, dull as hell. No, I would definitely disagree with
yeah,
that. I mean, I
one thing I did want to ask you, actually, it was on my mind when we first started. Before we even started talking on stream, this was when we were just initially talking.
hmm
Uh, why no kids?
Oh, fun fact, actually, I have it. Let me talk about that. I This is my second marriage, and I had a daughter with my first wife, and that didn't go so well. I don't want to speak badly of her, but I would if you and I were actually sitting in a bar having a chat. Um, and it didn't go so well. The divorce did not end on a very good note, and I haven't seen my daughter in quite a while. Uh, since then, I've sort of been, yeah, just didn't want my kids after that. And my wife agreed to that. So now we spend money on ourselves and enjoy each other's company. That's why.
Okay. First and foremost, sorry for the
No. Don't be. I mean,
Okay,
that's
then
me.
if not sorry,
Don't be
then
sorry.
if not sorry, then congratulations for the first one going like hell.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
I got very, look, I got married like I was 19, 18 when I got married. I was divorced by the time I was 22. So,
okay.
yeah. I mean, it was one of those kind of uh, relationships. It didn't go well. And I learned a lot of lessons from that, which is why I feel I really feel like it was a growing experience in my life, which is why I feel so confident in answering questions like that because I don't really care. It's just you learn from that, you move on, and you grow as a person. So there you go.
Okay, so I kind of understand a little more now where you're coming from. Um, there was something else I was going to ask, but as I mentioned, those are never going to return to me. Uh, Let me think.
How many beers have you had?
What was that? Did I miss something?
No, I was wondering how many beers in are you?
Oh, how many beers in am I? This is probably the fourth one. But
Oh, okay.
the important thing to remember is,
You're tiny.
well, I used to be. I mean, I was, dude, I was 100 pounds when I got out of high school. I'm probably closer to 150 now, which means I packed on half my body weight. But
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
that's
but 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 I might not be. I might be less than that. I haven't been weighed in like 3 years.
oh,
Yeah.
you don't have a scale at home?
Oh, we do. I just refuse to step on it because I don't give a shit
Oh,
how
okay.
much I weigh. What do
Yeah,
I care? What? As long as my clothes fit, I don't. I find no reason to care.
right.
I'm
I mean,
very.
some people that's wait. I don't. I know I
But
need to lose some, but
where was I going? Because I was going somewhere.
I have no idea, man.
Just- no, I was. It was something to do with something. I know that much.
It was something to do with something. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Oh, you were gonna read out some more questions from your list.
Oh yeah, those. But that's not where I was going with the other thing. But I'm gonna do those anyways. Uh, how many pennies would fit into your room?
The room that I'm in now.
Yes, I
How many
guess.
how many pennies would fit into my room?
Depends how big the penny is.
Well, I mean, pennies are a standard size, right?
Well, I don't know. How big's your penny?
Well, I mean, when I think of a penny, I'm thinking of a cent coin.
Yeah,
Am I not Harry
no,
Potter?
no, no. You are. We're talking about the pennies, the things that you take 100 and they add up to $1.
Right. Okay. Probably several 100,000.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Because like I look around my room and I try to think of how many pennies would fit in here, and all I can think of is one giant penny not fitting in here.
One giant penny.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they were stacked like in an organized manner, If you had
You know
organized
what?
stacks of
That's
pennies.
another thing. I didn't even think of that. What if they are in an organized manner? How many would fit in my
Yeah,
room?
like if you had organized stacks of pennies, they would probably, I mean, you fit like a couple million probably into my room.
Probably.
If it was just a big pile of pennies, they'd fit far less. I think.
All right. I got two more I definitely want to ask.
Okay. All right.
Possibly more, but at least these two. Number five. What is your favorite 90s jam?
Oh shit.
The only appropriate response to that question. Oh shit.
We'll have to think about it. There was a damn. Now I'm gonna have to look it up. There was a
It was that one song that
not
did that one thing.
yeah, there was that one song by that one group that was known for another song, but I actually liked a different song of theirs, and that was my favorite '90s jam. Wow, I'm gonna have to pass on that glitch because I don't want to be stupid
Okay, okay. That's
and
that's
be
that's
wrong.
fine.
Okay.
The next one's better anyway. I just have to remember where it is. All right, let me see. It's not that one. And it's not that one. Actually, I'll ask you this one while I'm looking for the other one.
Mm-hmm.
You're a new addition to the crayon box. What color would you be and why?
Would definitely be at least some sort of shade of red, mainly because I like red. Probably like a more magenta type color.
You know what? I actually meant to ask you about that. The logo you've had made.
Yeah.
Why that particular one?
So the gorilla. Uh, I spent probably a month figuring out what the logo would be alone. So I asked my wife, and this goes back to me starting Twitch. I eventually decided that I wanted to start streaming on Twitch, and I knew I had a vision for what I wanted my stream to be, and I knew that I wanted a logo, and I wanted it early, and I wanted it everywhere. So I asked my wife because I had no idea what I wanted the logo to be. So I asked my wife, I'm like, if you were to see me as an animal, or if you had an animal that would represent me, like what would it be? And I said, you don't have to answer now. Take a day or two and come back to me. So like a week later, she comes in my office in the morning. I'm getting ready to start work, and she says, "Gorilla, it needs to be a gorilla. You have to be a gorilla." And I'm like, "Why am I a gorilla? Call me fat?" Which she totally could. That's fine. But she said, "No, a gorilla is very territorial. They take care of their own. They're very loyal, and yeah, I mean they're they're family type animals, right? They grow up in a family, they stay with their family. That's what they do. They're all about family and that circle that they grow around them, the herd, or whatever a pack of gorillas is. So I said, actually sounds good. Oh, and she also said intelligent, which I don't know if I agree with or not, but yeah. So that's why I chose gorilla. And I went to my the graphics guy and said, "Hey, um, draw me a gorilla." Originally, a gorilla was blue because I wanted to make sure that blue did not come across as aggressive. But as we looked at it more, he had the same image as the gorilla itself, just the gorilla, not with the J, but just the gorilla. He had it in blue and he had it in red side by side, and my eyes were constantly drawn to the red, and I always avoid red as a color to begin with. So we went with the red one, and we finalized it, and that was that.
It is it's interesting to me because for two reasons. One, it's a very nice logo. Um, Two, most of the streamers I've run into had a lot of stuff done beforehand. before they started streaming, they essentially wanted to appear professional before being professional. Which is why I asked about that, because it's a very nice graphic, in my opinion. I've looked at it quite a few times. And unfortunately, the most unfortunate thing for me is, which I get to tell the viewers, if you are going to TwitchCon, if you sub to Joviah before August 1st, you get a shirt or a hat. Is it shirt or hat, or is it shirt and a hat, or
A shirt or a hat, whatever they want. Like,
you, you get a
however they
shirt,
want it.
you get a shirt or a hat with his logo on it for free. It's free, right? I don't want to make
Yeah,
you.
for free. No, for
Yeah,
free.
if you're
I'll
going,
buy it and then I'll get it embroidered.
if you're going to TwitchCon and you sub to Joviah before August 1st, you get a shirt or a hat, and you get to wear that little ape on your head, which I would totally do. Unfortunately, not going to TwitchCon myself, but one day there will be either TwitchCon or I will go to TwitchCon. But so next question that's on this list of apparently not so typical interview questions that people actually ask. And this one I did want to ask you about at some point or another.
Yeah.
What were you like in high school?
Um, I went through my goth phase in high school. Wow. Well, I was part of the marching band.
Wait, what instrument did you play?
I was a drummer.
You
No,
were a drummer.
I was a snare drummer. Yeah, and
Was
in
it
my
because
high school.
all you were good at was like just hitting shit as hard as you could?
Well, I mean, I had been playing drums since I was in fifth grade because that's when they sort of introduced me to band. I always wanted to be creative, and I thought music was that for me when I was very young. It turns out I didn't pursue it, but I got really good. Like my mom had me practicing every day. I got really good. Ended up being a captain or the drumline captain um, when I was in school for marching band. I did some professional marching band stuff actually right after high school. It was fun. Um, but long story short, yeah, I mean, I was captain of the drumline in high school. I walked around. I shaved my head, right, and I grew up my goatee when I was in high school, and I mean, I was kind of a bully actually, because in my high school, being in the band was kind of like the best thing that you could be because our football team really
Um,
sucked. And
wait. So you were in the marching band
yeah,
and you were a bully,
yeah, I was.
to an extent, or would you
Yeah,
say you were completely a
to an
bully?
extent. To an
Okay,
extent. Oh,
okay.
I mean, it was kind of like play bully, but now that I think about
Yep.
it, real
Okay.
bully.
So you're in marching band,
Yeah.
and you're a bully to an extent. Um, you realize that's never happened in the history of high school ever.
Let me tell you something though. Being in the drum line, and you know what? Ask Matt from Breakfast Live about this. I don't know if he'll know, but he's a drummer too. Um, the drum line in the band is totally different than being in. And I say with air quotes, like in the band, right? But the drum line, those were cool kids. At least where I was from. Um, I mean, we had like award-winning drum line. We were really good at what we did. We did all the flashy tricks and everything you can think of a drum line doing. And it sounds kind of stupid now that I'm saying it like out loud, but I gotta tell you, man, the drum line and the color guard girls, it was amazing. It was amazing. My high school was amazing because we had hot chicks in the color guard and we had hot guys in our drum line, and we got along great. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I was kind of a bully, so
All right. Well, we're
it is
gonna go
what it
ahead and we're actually gonna move to the next question.
is.
Which when you're talking and answering a question, generally I try to mute my microphone, uh, so that any noises I make don't come through and interrupt you. And nothing has ever been more true than what I just told you. when I read this question, because I'm going to ask it to you.
Okay.
If you don't get this job, what's your backup plan?
My backup plan?
This
If
isn't
I
even
don't
a
get this
job
job,
interview.
my backup plan is just to be homeless and I'll hang outside in front of your lobby and panhandle.
Okay, well then let me ask you this. Can you name 3 consecutive days without using the words Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday?
Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday?
Yeah, 3 consecutive days without Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Right? Why is that a question? Next one. Okay.
I thought it was a trick question.
It's
Sunday,
not.
Monday, Tuesday.
That's the whole question. Okay, if you woke up and had 2,000 unread emails and could only answer 300 of them, how would you choose which ones to answer?
Randomly.
Randomly?
Yeah.
Just go, one, two. Ooh, that's from him. I don't want him.
No, I would just pick them random. I mean, I would literally just roll the mouse down.
Just random click.
Yeah,
Well, knowing you, you'd probably write an entire program that chose them in a random order.
probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay,
probably would.
so the next one I got for you
I
is
hope I have to do that someday. By the way.
do you
Yeah, yeah,
code a
totally.
program that selects 300 emails out of 2,000?
Yeah, I would write a bot that selects the emails. Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
sounds like a good time. All right.
Mhm.
How many square feet of pizza is eaten in the U.S. each year?
Oh my god.
You got to
I
remember.
could probably Google that, but I'm not going to.
Right, but I'm not giving any answers. These are just interview questions, apparently, that people have been asked.
Right. I don't know. A couple million, I would think. 2 or 3 million square feet, easily.
Now,
But way more than that.
yeah, I would think so. I would think it would be in the millions. I don't think it would be in the
Yeah.
billions. That's just too high. But like
No.
at least the state of Kansas in pizza every year, maybe more. I don't know. Like
Right.
Earth eaten in pizza.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, it would be. I mean, America's known for pizza, right? I mean, that was like our invention, supposedly. I don't know the true history behind it, but I mean, supposedly we invented it. I would assume. I would assume several million at the very least. Not a billion. Not a billion.
All
But
right.
very very high up there.
On to the next one that I got, which I'm gonna answer this and then you can answer it. If you were to get rid of one state in the U.S., which would it be and why? Uh,
North Dakota. North Dakota.
okay, I feel like you missed the instructions a little bit, but I guess so. The instructions were I'm gonna answer it, and then you can go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Is that what
All right.
school
Well,
was like for you?
no,
No.
no. I'm just thinking. You asked me what state
Yo,
would I get rid
okay,
of,
I'm a little
and
nervous now.
the answer is
Uh,
North Dakota.
I'm a little nervous now because you didn't even have to think about that. You're just
I
like
didn't.
North
I
Dakota.
already
Get
knew.
it out of
Oh,
here.
yeah, North Dakota. Because I mean, so from. Be honest with me. Have you ever met anybody from North Dakota?
Hey, are you from Florida or did you move there?
I moved there.
Okay, did you move there because they don't require you to pay child support?
No, no. Trust me, I had to pay child support until very, very recently. So,
Kids came up earlier. I was
no.
just curious. Cause
Have you ever met anybody from North Dakota?
no, I haven't met anybody from North Dakota. You know why? They're
No,
all dead.
nobody has.
The what? Nobody has.
Nobody has. Nobody has.
Wait, what about South Dakota?
I've met a couple of people from South Dakota,
Yeah, what they do
but
tell you
nobody
no one's
ever.
from North Dakota?
I've asked people my entire life, if they've met people from North Dakota. And come here, come here. My wife just got home. How was the game? It was good. Yeah. Have you ever met anybody from North Dakota? Never. It doesn't exist. No. It doesn't exist. No, it doesn't exist. That's why I would get rid of George Brown.
Wait, wait,
Nobody
wait.
has ever met
I
anybody.
just realized something. So, Stupid Bird went ahead and said what they were like in high school. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's very important that I follow up and verbalize what I was like in high school.
Stupid Bird is still a young as far as I'm concerned. He's only what, 30? 30-ish?
Well, if he was 30-ish and he's been out of high school for 18 years, that means he was 12 when he got out of high school.
Uh maybe he was. Maybe he was one of the ones. 36. Okay, that's right. He did
Yeah,
tell me
no.
last night.
So I am going to go grab that beer that I forgot like 45 minutes ago.
All right.
And
Go get that here, man.
when I come back, I will explain what I was like in high school, and we'll have a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
I'm looking forward to
I'm sure you are.
that.
It's because you don't know it's coming yet.
All right, we'll take a quick break. So I'm trying to talk my wife. What would you guys think of that? You want to do some monster dating after the show? Because I think my wife might join us if I sweet talk her a little bit more. Oh, Stupid Bird, you have no idea. That was hilarious. Monster dating, yes, it's a thing. So Glitch, I hear you coming back tomorrow for sure.
Is everyone
Maybe
strapped
we'll
to
do
their
it tomorrow.
dragons and ready?
Hmm?
Is everyone strapped to their dragons and ready?
I think we're ready.
Yeah, we're taking an adventure to me in high school, which is the worst adventure they could have added, but they did. It was a DLC. Unfortunately, I'm the only person who purchased it, and I regret that. Uh, so, high school for me. I went to two different high schools. Uh,
Mhm.
because we moved almost done my freshman year in the first one, which is very important because so basically I was never a good student ever, um, and
You were
I
never what?
the what
You were never what?
a good student,
Oh, okay.
and I attribute that to not being able to hear now that I look back on it.
Yeah.
Uh, because again, there was never special focus on that. I never had teachers that were like primarily towards me or against me or anything like that. But so what happened was sixth grade, terrible job, got held back. Now my brother's 1 year behind me. So when that happened, he ends up in the same grade as me. And the reason that's important is because when we moved, and I ended up going to the second high school I went to, uh, they threw us in the same classes for like the last 2 months of school because it's a lot easier for them, I guess.
Mhm.
And math class was boring as shit.
Really?
But the teacher was hot as fuck. Uh, yeah, honestly, when it comes to math, I'm really good at very basic math. Your addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, percentages, and fractions. I'm really good at that
Mhm.
stuff to the point where when I'm shopping, I can do what the tax will be in my head. But anything after that, I kind of get lost at. Um, so we're in that class together, and I had fallen asleep. And she tells me, if you fall asleep again, you're going to have to leave. So I fell asleep.
Right.
And so she tells me I gotta leave. And my brother just goes, can I go with him? And so we both left. And it was great. But so what kind of kid I was in high school? I was not a academic focused person by any means. And it's not for the typical reasons. It's not because I couldn't grasp the concept or
Mhm.
because I couldn't remember things, or I failed things, or whatever the case may be. I'd like to think I'm a fairly decent. I'd like to think I'm at least at average intelligence when it comes to individual basis. I'd like to think I'm around there. But
Okay.
the problem was is it was just so dull to me. I wasn't learning about the things I wanted to learn about, so I went to sleep. To the point where one of my teachers told me, and I quote, "Why don't you just bring in a pillow and blankets?" So I did. And then they got mad at me because I brought a pillow and blankets, which they asked me why I just didn't
It
do.
was it was their idea.
Yeah, they told me to basically.
Right.
I never had a large amount of friends. I didn't have zero, but I never had like I never went to like a party, and I never hung out with like large groups. Um,
Mhm.
but in the mornings, I would hang out with the alternative kids. Now I'm significantly younger than you and Stupid Bird, and even a little bit younger than Matt and Tina if they're still listening. But so I'm a little younger. I was in school when a lot of the scene phases and emo phases really started hitting, and those were the kids I hung out with. The social reject type kids.
Right.
And I ended up dating one of them, and it's still one of my favorite date stories. I really like diners. I like a diner you can go to at 3 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon and order a cheese omelet. Best places.
Yes.
And we're there, and we're sitting. We're sitting for about 6 or 7 minutes. And you know, at that age, the phrase "I love you" gets thrown around pretty easily. Um,
Yeah, it does.
so we're sitting there for a few minutes, and she goes, "I love you." And I just looked at her and I go, "I love you too." And she goes, "I was talking to the coffee." Like, damn.
Ouch. 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 Well,
Yeah, but what's funny is we were still together for probably a good 8 or 9 months after that.
Well, because she knew you were committed. That's why.
You think so? Because,
Yeah.
I mean, the girl I was with that I moved to Michigan for, we had a lot of great stories, but she didn't stick around longer than she should have.
Well, I don't know that whole story, but yeah, I mean, girls that age probably loved to be told that they were loved, and yeah, I mean, you won yourself
How do they
6 to 8 months.
how do they generally respond to being told that they're a fucking cunt and should die?
Mm, uh, not well.
Okay,
Not well.
that explains why no one's ever come home from the bar with me.
Yeah. Well, what
That-
kind
that-
of bars do you go to, man? I mean, you need to
my backyard.
your backyard. Oh, yeah.
Not really. Okay, when it comes to bars and pubs,
Yeah.
so we were talking about how I was in high school. In high school, I it doesn't really apply so much to your generation because no one really when you were my age, there was no real like widespread easy access internet,
No, there was not.
and now there is. And there's
Yeah.
a lot of cringy kids. Um
Yeah.
yeah,
And I think that's a direct correlation, act.
I do too because it can be shared.
Yeah.
The thing is I was about that cringy. The only difference is I kind of grew up on that cusp where you were
Mhm.
either trying to be that Facebook popular kid or you didn't give a shit. Luckily, I fell on the didn't give a shit side, so all the cringy shit I did is forever lost in my history, other than what I choose to share.
That's a good thing. That's a good
Absolutely.
thing. Yeah, that's a good
Um,
thing.
where was I going? Like,
Well, I mean, I'm still not on Facebook,
oh,
and it's not because I'm an old curmudgeon.
no. The thing
I'm not
is
on Facebook.
we were talking about bars, and the thing is
Yeah.
so uh, all of the way I was in high school is completely lost unless I share it with someone. And
Right.
in high school, I was the kind of guy where a girl showed me any attention, I thought that was the bee's knees. I thought I was good to go. Um, and then I discovered alcohol. And that
Right.
I'll sit in bars now, and like a girl will be like, "I don't like you because one hair's in the wrong place," and it's like, "Okay, well, sucks ass for you if you're that shallow, you cunt."
I kind of don't blame you there. Kind of don't blame you there. Yeah. I mean, I I think that's entirely appropriate. I mean, maybe not those exact words, but yeah. I mean, if
Well,
you, I mean, if that's all you're interested in is how somebody looks, then you're never going to be happy.
well,
You're just never going to be happy.
the thing is, like, I, I, uh, when I was like 16, 17, I got heavily into George Carlin,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing is he does a bit where it's somebody's talking to you, saying something you don't care about, and you want to say something politely, but all you can think to say is "shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
That's basically the point I've reached where I just can't be bothered to care that much anymore.
You know, yeah, I reached that point probably probably about the same place that you did. Like I mean, who cares at that point because you've started to solidify yourself, or you have solidified yourself, and you're comfortable with who you are. And if people don't like you, then I mean, there's other people that will, and you realize that. So there you go.
Yeah, but there's 7 billion of
Screw it.
us.
Right, right, exactly.
Like I'm
There's
supposed to
there's
give,
there's somebody out there for everybody, right?
I'm supposed to give a rat's ass that you care that I didn't shave my face yesterday than when maybe I should have.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
my whole thing though is like I think I've mentioned I'm a very homebody. I tend to stay at home. I try to minimize going out. And so
Me too. I'm the same way. Same way. I don't go anywhere unless I have to
Right.
or unless I want to.
Well, the thing is, like, my brother's off Tuesday through Thursday, and he'll be like, "Hey, we gotta go to Walmart. We gotta go to this convenience store." Which actually, you might be familiar with the convenience store because they started opening them up in Florida. Are you?
Uh,
Were you about to think of it and go, "Hey, this"?
no, no, no,
No.
no. What store was it?
Have you seen a Wawa yet?
Yes, yes.
That
They're opening one up. Not that far from me.
that is you can thank the Northeast. They come from us.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I heard.
I have to tell you, I was born and raised in New Jersey, lived here for 20 some odd years, moved to Michigan for that 1 year. Absolutely missed Wawa. 7-Eleven and every other convenience store I've been to does not compare to it. They can't. They have no idea what they're doing. Uh,
My brother lived in Boston for 10 years. He was in the Air Force. He was stationed
yeah.
out there for about 10 years, and he swore by Wawa. He moved down here actually,
I can tell you this. If you
and
come
and
if you
he
come
was
up to New
very excited.
Jersey, if you come up to New Jersey and you want to go to a convenience store other than Wawa, you best know how to get there because no one around here is going to know how to tell you to get to it.
Okay. Well, I mean, we've got a Wawa that's opening up right down the street. My brother was so excited when he saw Wawa. He's like, ah, ah,
You got
Wawa.
you got to do
I'm like,
two
what the
things.
hell are you talking about?
There's two things you got to do. So you'll go into a Wawa. As far as I can tell, you don't smoke, so that's irrelevant to you. Uh,
I vape. I
you
used to smoke. I
yeah.
smoked for like a year or two.
My
Yeah.
I'll get to a story on that too. I have stories for everything, by the way. A lot of weird shit happens in my life. I've talked to that in other streams, but I'm just prone to weird shit happening to me, uh, which is irrelevant to the vape story, but it's relevant to the fact that I have stories for everything. But so when you can go to Wawa, there are two things you need to buy that they make. Uh,
Okay.
you have to buy their quesadillas. I recommend the chicken quesadillas. However, a simple cheese quesadilla will do just as well. And their
Okay.
bowls. They have bowls. You can either get mashed potato, uh, the mac and cheese, or mashed potato and mac and cheese. And on top of those is the essentially chicken tenders, chicken fingers, whatever you want to call them. They're always the same shape. I
Mm.
personally get the mashed potatoes under the chicken fingers because it's their mashed potatoes are really good for uh, pre-made store bought mashed potatoes as opposed to mashing them at home. As far
Right.
as Stupid Bird Gaming, uh, as far as smoking, I'm going on. Let me think. I'll be 20. Am I gonna be 26? I'm gonna be 26, so I'm going on 14 years. Um, I for me personally, I enjoy it. Um, a lot of people don't like smoking. They don't like how it makes them feel. I used to be a 3 pack a day smoker.
Wow.
I know I'll touch on that some other time, but I'm a little under 1 pack now, and that's where I'll probably stay for the foreseeable future for a long time.
Mhm.
I did try vaping. The problem for me was vaping. It didn't feel like smoking. I mean, you feel the inhale, you feel the exhale. There's
You didn't get the right vape then.
there's that fullness in the chest,
Yeah.
but it doesn't feel like smoking feels.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know when you tried it, but it's improved quite a bit over the last couple of years. So I'm kind of a stupid bird. I smoked for a time and started vaping because I saw an opportunity to try to quit, and haven't actually quit yet, as far as I'm concerned. I'm vaping exclusively now, but I really do want to stop at some point. Um, it's not today. I
Right?
actually got quit.
But that's how I feel about the cigarettes. Like I'll quit at some point, not today. But
Yeah.
as far as smoking and vaping, so my brother smoked for. See, he's roughly about a year and a half younger than me. He probably smoked 11 or 12 years. Um, but he picked up a vape about 2 years ago, and he was exclusively vape for till probably about six. I want to say 6 months ago, and he actually completely quit the vape 6 months ago. Now, before we start congratulating him, when you get him drunk enough, he will hit a cigarette or a vape. Um,
I'll still do that
yeah.
every now and then.
However,
Yeah.
as far as I can recall, it's been like 3 or 4 times in 6 months. So he has quit my eyes, where he doesn't smoke anything anymore on a regular basis. But
Right.
as far as a vape, I don't know how you guys do it. I tried for so long. I spent probably about a good 4 or 5 months uh, trying to just vape, and I enjoy the ritual of pulling out the pack, pulling one out, lighting it, putting your pack and lighter away, snubbing it out after you're done with it. And a vape, the first like month I had the vape, I was basically hitting it 24/7 because it never ended.
Hmm. So that's the thing is that the ritual is a huge thing with um with smoking, right?
Right.
You have to have something in your hands. You have to, you always have your lighter in a specific pocket, and your cigarettes are always in a specific place, and yeah, you go through that ritual when you're getting ready to up. And I remember missing that for a long time. I think I still miss it actually, but I do have a vape to fall back on. It took me a long time to switch from cigarettes to vape exclusively, and I'm looking to get off that eventually. But yeah, I mean, the technology has improved quite a bit. I don't feel that bad anymore, and in fact, I don't feel that bad about not smoking anymore. Like I don't feel like I have to have something in my hands all the time. Uh, I, uh, I can smell a smoker a mile away at this point, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just reminds me of smoking. I don't think I'll ever get over it, and I probably stopped 5, 7, 8 years ago, maybe. Um, on my old clothes, I can still smell it. It's that strong of a connection. So yeah, you'll feel that when the time comes when you feel like quitting, if you ever do. Um, I will say that I feel a lot better, healthier. I'm not a super healthy person, but I feel a lot healthier. Like I can get up in the morning and run. I'm starting to do now. I can run a couple of miles and not feel as bad as when I was smoking. So that's nice.
The one story I do have related to smoking and smokers' health. Um, so let me think. When I was living with the girl in Michigan,
Mhm.
we were also living with her mother and her grandfather. Now, her grandfather was a former smoker. He was, let me think age wise. He was probably about 85.
Right.
And when I moved there, he was a former smoker. And of course, I came in and I'm practically a chimney. Um, and after about 2 or 3 weeks of me being there, uh, I quit uh, 15 to 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I have one lung left because he did actually lose the other lung to lung cancer. So he essentially just told me, I quit 20 years ago. I have one lung left, And every time you light one up, I want to ask you for one. I still crave it after all this time.
Yeah.
So that was really my first experience in learning how bad the cravings can be. And welcome back, Light Umbreon. I don't know about Joviah, but I am pretty good as far as liquor inside my body.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty good too. In fact, I need a good greasy cheeseburger at this point.
Honestly, I'm sure you noticed all the pauses I was making when I was telling that story. Uh, all the pauses I was making, or I was texting my brother.
Oh, cool.
I wanted him to bring back a certain snacks that I like, and I'm pretty sure he knows this because he's probably watching right now. But that's okay,
I think he is actually.
and he's used to me, so he's known me a long time. I would hope a lot of people generally aren't used to my humor or my way of being. And so it kind of throws him off. And mind you, he's so used to it that he says, I guess, having the drunk munchies? I said, yes, very. And I said, still streaming? He goes, alrighty, I'll bring them home.
Nice.
Like, he's just so used to, like, me just being like, I need this. And he's like, okay, I guess. Are you drunk?
I got you covered.
He's just so used to me. I love him, though.
That's good, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's really awesome.
a lot of the people I've talked to, streamer or not, either have a poor relationship with relatives, whether it be siblings, or they have a poor relationship with parents, or even further extended family. Truthfully, I've been quite lucky. I have pretty good relationships with both my siblings and my parents.
That's good.
Um, my favorite thing though, and I don't know if you've gone through this, but when you were growing up, so granted you're significantly older, do you remember in the '80s or even early '90s, hearing it all that you'll never make a living playing video games?
Actually, yes, absolutely. I
Yes,
mean, that was one of
it's
the most important things my dad ever told me. Is like you just sat there in your room all day today playing that video game.
yeah.
Uh, think all that wasted time. So you know what I did? I went to college to learn how to build video games, and I got a really good job out of it. I got a really good job out of it.
So first off, like, drunk munchies and the potato chips, kinda. I told him to buy me the cheddars and sour cream chips, though if he couldn't afford that at the moment, to get me the cheddar loaded bacon chips. Uh, and Dr. Pepper, yes, probably. I mean, I got 2 beers left, and I'm gonna finish them before the night's over. But so I too, my parents told me at a very young age, you'll never make a living playing video games. And about probably 3 weeks after I got affiliated, I got a $60 donation,
Nice.
and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick. Give me some time. And I did go to the bathroom, but I also went downstairs and I said to my parents, I said, "Remember when you told me I'd never make a living playing video games? You lied to me."
I just made $60. Yeah,
Exactly. And
yeah,
my dad got it real quick, like with the whole Twitch thing. He's been a little more technical. More technologically advanced than my mom is, so he kind of gets it. My mom, on the other hand, she thought I was just doing this for fun. And I tell her, hey, I'm expected to do this, and all this is capable. And then I got that donation, and I've explained to her their 60-day period for payments if thresholds over 100, and I've
right.
explained that all to them. And so she gets it a lot more now, which is nice. Now sometimes my streams, Friday, Saturday afternoon, Sunday, and Monday, they'll knock on my door if they need something small. They know I can pause my streaming, not literally pause it, but I can step away for a couple minutes and do something small they need me to do. That's fine. But Saturday night, I do this.
Right.
They know not to disturb me unless the house is on fire, which is nice. Because 2 months ago, if I had tried to explain to them, hey, I'm talking to a stranger, and there's a potentiality of I'll earn some money, they'll earn some money, we'll earn more fans, they would have been like, the fuck you are, get down here and do this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to describe, right? It's hard to believe. My father-in-law was asking me this the other night. He's like, "So what are you doing? Why can't you hang out in the garden?" Right? And I'm like, "Well, I've got to go stream. I'm scheduled to be live." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, well, people watch me play video games. He's like, you know, people actually sit there and watch you play video games. I'm like, man, that, but when I reach affiliate, this was before I got my affiliate.
Yeah.
When I reach affiliate, there's potential that some of them can actually, donate or subscribe
Yeah.
or give me money and stuff. He's like,
Now,
people will pay for that. He's like, oh, you're just playing a video game. It's a lot more than that. It's paying me for being me and being stupid in a video game because I suck at them.
I mean, that's basically a response, because, like,
Yeah,
I,
it's hard to believe. It's hard
like,
to believe.
well, that's the thing, is like 10 years ago, when I was, 15 or 16, depending on which month 10 years ago, if I had told my dad I was making money playing video games, he probably would have thought I was going nuts.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Another thing, and I'm not going to name names, and I think I mentioned this last time I did a talk show stream.
Mhm.
So, there is someone that I know who is underage, so can't put in their own tax information. So got
Right.
permission to put in their mother's tax information. And as soon as I found out they were doing that, I'm like, if I had told my dad 10 years ago that I needed his tax information for the internet, he would have beat my ass halfway to Tuesday.
Oh yeah, yeah. Forget about that.
Like,
Yeah.
imagine, can
What
you
is it
imagine,
that you're doing?
can you imagine telling your parents you need their tax information for the internet?
No,
I
no.
mean,
Forget about
they would have, if not
it. No.
just severely questioned you, they would have kicked your ass into like next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even asked. It's
Right?
like, what do
Like,
you?
that's, dude, that's the thing, is like, kids these days can ask their parents shit that if I had asked my parents, I might not be alive to have fun with you today.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't have asked that. Like I wouldn't have. I certainly wouldn't have asked my parents that. No way in hell. It
C-
wouldn't have ever happened.
can you imagine? Okay, I want you to imagine this, Jovia. So you're 12 years old, okay?
Okay,
And
I'm 12 years old.
you go up to your mom and or dad, and you say, "I need your social security number."
Yeah. No. 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 And in fact, like I was saying, I never would have questioned. It just wouldn't have happened. No way in hell. I already knew the answer. You know.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing I'm talking about. Like, my dad 10 years ago, actually more than 10 years ago, 12 years ago, he was against World of Warcraft. He's like, I can't believe they make you buy a game and then pay monthly to play that game.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
like, he was pissed about that. If I had asked him for his social security number, you would not be talking to me today.
right. Yeah. Uh, yeah. There were just there were certain things you just didn't ask back in the
Exactly.
day. You know.
Like, hey, Dad, where do you hide your bong?
Yeah.
Just kidding. My dad doesn't smoke weed, but if
How
he
did,
if he
how do
did,
you even know what a bong is?
yeah.
You get popped in the mouth just for asking that, and then they
A-
ask how you know what a bong is, and pop your friends in the mouth too. Yeah,
Actually, what's
didn't know.
funny about that is my my older brother was a best way to put it. He liked dabbling in the drug scene.
Mhm.
and my my parents did end up finding one of his bowls, and they hid
Really?
it. Yeah, they hid it in their sock drawer,
Oh.
and I was like 12 or 13, and I'm just going through the drawers, and I'm like, holy shit, mom and dad have a bowl. And I mentioned it to my older brother, and he goes, actually, that's mine. They confiscated it from me. I'd really like that back.
So you went and got it, right?
Well, of course I gave it back to him.
Of course.
Because I was
You
11 or
got to.
12. What did I know?
Yeah, that's mine. They took it. Yeah, time to get it back. That's what brothers do, though.
Uh, do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I've got one brother.
Is that
He's
is that one too
5 years.
many?
No, I love my brother, man. He's
Uh,
actually pretty cool.
wait. Let me ask you this: are you the older or the younger sibling?
oh, I'm the older. I'm the older.
That's why you love him.
Well, I mean, I would I would like to think that the feeling is mutual. In fact, I opened the phone call
Well,
because
because the thing is for me, I'm the middle sibling. My parents had three boys in like 4.5 years. They went real
yeah.
quick. I'm insanely like so my younger brother is the son, okay?
Hmm.
And I would be Mercury. You know, that's pretty close in the grand scheme our of our solar system.
Right.
My older brother is in another universe. We like I don't know what he's into. He never talks to us. I barely know anything about him.
Really?
So it's kind of weird when you enter that three-stage sibling thing. But I guess with two siblings, you would get more of maybe a closeness.
Yeah. I mean, my brother was he was born 5 years after me, so you know, we're
Uh,
not that far apart.
there's quite a
We're
bit of
far enough
separation.
apart. Yeah, we're far enough apart to. He didn't have to have hand me downs all the time, so he didn't need for that. Um, we didn't go to the same school. We were never in the same classes.
Here's your hand-me-down clothes. Ew, it smells like Joviah boob.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure that's what he would have said. But no, I mean he lived a couple hours from me. We talk very often. We play on PS4 and stuff, and just have a general good time. He's I don't know. He used to be a pothead when he was growing up, and now he's cleaned up a little bit. He went in the Air Force, trained as he did some pretty hardcore stuff. As did I actually. He sort of followed in my footsteps. In fact, he worked for some of the same people that as I did in the Air
Yeah.
Force, which is fun. Um, but yeah, no, it turned out to be he's dating a wonderful woman who is madly in love with him. I think he's really turned out
You
pretty good.
think?
I think. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I'm not there every day. I don't know.
I'm like 60% sure, maybe 61, but not 100. But oddly enough, most families it's the older brother taking care of the younger brother. Um, and
Yeah.
oddly enough, as far as what I mentioned earlier, that Twitch streaming, especially for me, is more about the enjoyment I get out of it than the money. The money's just a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so, as I've mentioned, my brother right now, currently, my younger brother, financially supports me generally. And then all the stuff I use is his. Uh, but I emotionally support him. And from what I can tell, is the emotional support seems to be worth way more than the financial support.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. As speaking as the older the parents, at least in my life, my mom would look at me and expect me to be the best at everything that I could do, which carried through to this point in my life. But she didn't expect that of my brother, so my brother supported me uh, emotionally, and I mean, he's never asked me to support him financially, but I certainly would if he ever asked me to. You know, so yeah, I can see that.
And the reason that's interesting to me is because most family models you see, it's always the older brother that's got everything more connected, at least in media and just in my general experience of meeting people. It's always the older siblings that have more in line and are more prepared for things, and but it doesn't really account for the outliers like myself, where we grew up with unfortunate circumstances or uncontrollable circumstances of ourselves that we couldn't grow past from our adolescent or teen years.
Uh, yeah, there's probably a little bit of truth in that, but yeah, but that's a big generality, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, the older sibling is the one that has to go through things first. I mean, they have to deal with the parents first. They have to go through puberty. They have to go through middle school and high school first, or college, or what have you. So, yeah, I mean, they're probably prepared for those things, and then they are there in turn to help and assist and support the younger siblings that go through those things afterwards. So yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense to me.
I uh I don't mean to completely disrupt the topic, but generally I finish these at 10. We're already a quarter past 10. I didn't even
I
I didn't even
I
realize.
yeah, I mean I need to get myself a cheeseburger at some point soon.
Well, I mean, I can already tell you what's gonna happen at night. About 15 minutes, my brother's gonna walk through the back door and he's gonna be like, "I got your chips," and I'm
Yeah.
just gonna devour those and then drink the other beers, and then I'm gonna have like two grilled cheeses and go, "I'm going to sleep. No one disturb me." Mind you, everyone else is already asleep,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yelling that's kind of pointless. But that's kind of what's gonna happen to me. Like I think
All right.
we've ridden this train.
Well, we've had a great show. I
Oh
mean, I
yeah.
really
And you know what?
appreciate
That's the whole point of these.
inviting me up.
But the last thing I will say on these is the whole point of these is a lot of people that do talk shows are too afraid to get into certain topics, are too afraid to do certain things. I think it's important to be fearless, and I will bring up anything I feel like bringing up. And so far, every single one of these has been amazing. So why would I stop this formula?
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think you got a good thing going here, man. I would highly recommend you keep it up. It's awesome.
Well,
Thank you for inviting me to partake.
luckily
Pretty
for
good.
me, next week I got light on, so
Oh, nice.
I really don't know how that's gonna go, but I'm sure he'll tell me exactly how it's gonna go at some point.
Awesome. No, I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be fun.
I don't think I typed that right. No, I butchered
No,
your
I don't think
name.
you typed that right.
Did I get that one right? No, I didn't get that one right either. Hold on. I'll
you
get the.
know, you'll get it eventually.
I got the
There you
third
go.
one.
There you
The third time's the charm. Did I? I thought I put a dollar sign in the second one, but I guess I didn't.
go.
I would apologize for being drunk if I thought it mattered, but it obviously doesn't.
Good
All
times,
right.
man. Good
So,
times.
uh, last minute things. Did you enjoy this?
Absolutely. No, I think this was awesome. Uh, no, I like I was saying earlier, I really appreciate you having me on, and yeah, I totally enjoyed this. I would like to do maybe I don't know in a couple weeks or a couple months, or whenever you feel like having me back on. I think it was great. I
Well,
think it was great.
what I'm doing with it is I'm cycling through all of the people I find exciting, and once I've run through that cycle, I will eventually have to either A, find new people that are strangers, and get them on, or I will have to run through the cycles again. And I'm honestly leading towards bringing those cycles back. Uh,
Okay.
Also, the reason there's no shout out light Umbreon is because I don't think you can use them. I think you have to be a super moderator to where only I can use them. I didn't intentionally set it up that way, but that's what happened with Stream Elements. And also, you don't have one yet because I haven't done this stream with you yet, and I generally don't do shoutouts otherwise, though I'm planning on it. So when you do get your shoutout command, it'll be permanent. Go ahead, you were gonna say something.
Oh, me? Oh
I thought
no,
so.
no. I wasn't gonna say anything. But,
Oh,
yeah,
it was just a
like I'm
scary
beyond stream
noise.
no, 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 that's good.
So, curiosity question before we go. Did you like have to tell your wife like, hey, 7 to 10, I'm gonna be in the man cave. Don't bother me.
Well, she was actually out at a football game.
She's at a
She went
football
to
game.
the yeah. She a friend of hers wanted her to join her at the spring game tonight for the local university, so they went out
Shit.
to that.
Next
Yeah.
time your wife goes to a football game, ask her if I can go with her.
Well, we have season tickets to the university here, so yeah, I'm gonna
Wait,
go
Is it
there
the
to see that.
University of Miami?
It is, yes.
The fucking Hurricanes, man, dominating force in the '80s.
And they were,
Fucking
they're not
how,
now.
fucking how. Well,
But
I know not now, but fucking
but
Howard Schnellenberger, dude.
amazing, dude. What we're gonna do? I'm gonna have a turnover chain this year when the season starts. So we're working on that.
Hey, if I'm ever in Florida, you got to take me to a Hurricanes game,
Dude, you come on down. It would be my pleasure, man. I'll totally
cause
take you to a game.
two of my favorite college football coaches have coached there, Schnellenberger and Jimmy Johnson.
Yep. Jimmy Johnson he made that program.
Absolutely dominated the '80s, though honestly they could have done without Bernie. Was it Bernie Kosar? Was that his first name, Bernie?
Uh, yeah, I think it was. I
Whatever.
think it was. No, yeah,
the
I know you.
the
Yeah.
point is I don't look like the kind of guy who would be into sports, and the truth is, you would be absolutely right. I'm just into football teams that smash each other's faces into the ground. For example, people will ask me my favorite NFL team, and I always respond it doesn't exist anymore because my favorite NFL team is the 1985 Bears.
Oh, no love for the Dolphins, huh? Dolphins perfect
Hey,
season.
to be fair, Dan Marino, 1985 season, actually 84 it would have been. Uh, the Miami Dolphins completely destroyed the defense that the Bears had going because they went 15-1 that season, and the only team to beat them was the Dolphins.
Well, I will say that the Dolphins really suck right now, and nobody here in Miami really likes them. But we're very fair weather fans. My wife is actually a Cane; she's an alumni, so that's why we go to those. So I'm very into that.
Uh,
But I love the Canes now. Love them. Love them. Win or lose. I mean, just going to those games. There's nothing like a college football game on game day. Tailgating with friends and stuff, and just enjoying the atmosphere. Like NFL has nothing to it.
you basically just said that there's nothing like a whole bunch of cars in a parking lot with everyone eating meat and drinking
No,
beer.
it's the atmosphere though. I mean, the fans that go to a college football game are actual fans
Oh yeah.
of the university and what they represent. And I mean, a lot of them went there, right? So they're all fans of that. The NFL team, it's like, oh well, where did you grow up? That's
Yeah.
that's your team. So I don't know. It feels good to go to a college football game. That's why I prefer that. But yeah, UM is yeah. I mean, I'll throw it to you
All
every
right.
now and then.
Here's where we are now. First off, thank you Almedia for the follow, and second off, we're basically done here for the night, Joviah. And if you feel like the past two guests have, it feels like it's over way too quick.
Oh yeah, totally.
You,
Time flies by.
you keep talking for hours, and if you do want to keep talking for hours, though, you can actually start streaming on your own channel and do that. I don't know if you knew that you could do that, but you could do that.
But if you're giving me an opportunity, I will say I'll be back on
Oh,
tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and we will be
uh,
playing Wasteland 2 and some
honestly,
Jackbox.
I'm not gonna be awake at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I mean, I might be, but probably not.
Well, when you join us, we'll flip over to Jackbox and we'll play some monster dating, just so you.
Do you have Jackbox Party Pack 3?
I don't have number 3, but I've got.
You don't
I
have
can get
number
number 3.
3?
No, I
Sounds
mean I
good to me.
could.
Okay. Now, normally I don't do this, and I'm not going to do it on stream. I'll wait till I end this, but I do have a question to ask you about Jackbox Party Pack. Um,
Okay.
so, first and foremost, Joviah, assuming I'm still pronouncing that right, and I are out of here. And we love you guys. I think he loves you anyway. I'm not sure.
I love all of them. It's
See,
awesome.
I got him to say he loved you, so that's got to matter for something.
I love you. I was talking about the coffee,
Oh,
so you know.
all right. Well, we're out of here. And Sal, I hope you have a good one. Light, I hope you have a good one. I'm assuming Almedia is still here. You have a good one, and that would make. I know Jovi's probably got this open, so he's another one. I've got it open, so that's another one. There's only one person here who I can't confirm is probably Stream Elements. So everyone I've already said goodbye to, we're out of here, and now it's Jovia's turn to say goodbye if you'd like to.
See you guys later. Light out. Good to see you guys. We'll catch you all probably tomorrow.
Okay, that was his goodbye. We're gone. Adios, fuckers.